Hey everybody! How are y'all doing? Alameda here, and today we have our pilot episode of... I forgot what I called it. Movie Monday Podcast! Alright, today I had my hands up in the air like I'm actually cheering this on. It was weird. Alright, so this is the pilot episode of it, so I'm gonna try to do the best of what we can. The last time that I did this, not in a podcast forum, but the last time I talked to Donnie, who's in the chat with me right now, we talked for a couple hours, and by the way, it was just crazy. It was complete crazy how just a simple conversation, it trailed off, and it just completely went in a different location, and it was Donnie, how are you? I you know what? Why am I doing that? Donnie, how are you? All right. So, here's what we got. Now, there was a new movie that got released. And the movie that got released was released 3 days ago. Okay? Scream 6. All right, so we are going to talk about the Scream franchise. And then going into, there will be spoilers, Scream 6. Me personally, I don't like to do spoilers. However, it's a spoiler alert, so be ready once we get to that point. All right. Both myself and Donnie have seen Scream 6, and we are ready to talk about all things Scream to a certain point. All right. I do have to admit, I haven't seen Scream 5.
Boo.
And you do, but hey, look, it was a complete like I said, I didn't even know Scream 5 was a thing. I saw just Scream, and it was like what 2020 version or 20 when it was really 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Scream 5 was released last year, and I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was just a reboot. So I was like, no, I don't care. I'm not gonna do it. I don't care. And then sure enough, here it is that, like, it was actually part of the series. So I'm a little bit behind on it. Now, I have watched Scream 1, 2, and 3, and I was actually working on 4 before I saw Scream 6. I was trying to get through all the Screams, but I didn't make it. And Donnie is over there like a champ. Saw 1, 2, 3, and 4, and is working on 5, and I'm sitting here like, well, way to leave me in the dust.
I literally have 10 minutes of 5 left.
Okay, so yeah, we all kind of know how 5 ends. If you haven't seen it, they live. All right, they do. They live. But
Oh my.
we
Wait.
what? What?
Oh, I just realized because you haven't seen 5.
What part?
Do you know?
What part?
I don't. Ooh. Who
Look,
do you
look.
do you know who dies in 5?
I'm gonna here's the thing is, I'm gonna assume everybody dies. Yes, I think Neve Campbell's character dies. You know why? Because it's a franchise. Everybody can die.
Okay, no, that's false. She's also actively alive in Scream 6. So what do you mean?
Yeah, after I said that, I was like, yeah, I kind of messed that up because I know she's alive in 6. I know it's not Courtney Cox's character.
No, she's alive.
Oh, Dewey dies. Dewey dies.
dies!
Yeah, I know that. I know Dewey dies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I do know that. right, I'm gonna try to do this whole little reactive thingy that you got going on over here. But wait, what?
I honestly don't. Yeah, it's okay if you don't do it.
Fugi Tech. Got it. Okay, so let's kind of go into the one, 2, and 3. All right, the first trilogy. We're gonna call it the trilogy. You know why? Because in 3 they called it a trilogy.
Yeah,
why?
They called it the final Scream movie. It's even on the poster.
So the funny thing here's, I actually kind of, oh, there's just so much I don't want. Okay, so like in the first one, they talk about scary movies. They talk about slashers, and then it's like, okay, and then it's in Scream 2 they talk about the sequel. They're calling it the sequel, and then in Scream 3 they're like, we are in a trilogy, and it's like, what what is wrong with these people?
And do you notice how like every movie, like after 1, they call out when they're in like Act 3.
I kind of miss that. I miss that.
Oh my god. No, so yeah, there's like sometimes it's very obvious because the characters will either straight up say they're in the 3rd act or they're in the final act. But some in like I think it was I don't remember which one it was, but there was one subtlety to it, and it called out that they were in Act 3. And yeah, they do it for almost every movie.
Oh, I missed that. Man. Oh well, that kind of I gotta log in with my Discord.
Yeah, because it's like Discord bubbles except Discord thingy.
Yeah, that one's not gonna happen for a while. So I thought it was like that part just I laughed, and then I bring that up because we're gonna talk about it when we talk about Scream 6. But I also love the fact that Courtney Cox's character always gets leveled by one of the main characters. just always, just every single one, she gets completely clocked, and it's like, oh, the first one, amazing. Well, the way that she talks about everything, of course she deserves it, right?
Yeah.
No, we're not gonna sit here and go, no, you don't deserve to get decked. It's like, come on, you were approaching somebody in a very touchy subject cold-heartedly, and
I love that it's always when she's in like the middle of other cameramen too, you know, like there's full on
it's always when she's reporter. It's when she's a reporter mode. Reporter mode activate, and then Courtney Cox is like, what do you blah 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 blah, pow, and it's like right in the kisser, right? Oh, it's okay. So I actually was talking to somebody today at work about the Scream series, or the Scream quote-unquote franchise. Now, I had to say that if you look at Scream with the some parts of it, the unmarked genre of comedy.
Yeah, of course.
If you look at Scream as an unmarked comedy, horror, mystery, thriller, action in some parts, you can get some of the comedic value that was actually intended in all of the movies. And when we were talking about the whole what was it, the they were actually like breaking the barrier of calling themselves in a movie. It's like, what movie talks about them being in a movie while they're in a movie?
Yeah, they get real specific with which movies they're in too.
Yeah,
like, they go from
they do.
Oh yeah.
It's like you are breaking almost like the fifth wall. You're not breaking the fourth wall and talking to the cast or to the audience member. You are breaking like the fifth wall in saying that you are basically in a movie without saying that you're in a movie.
Yeah.
So Man.
You know, sorry to go back just a moment because
Yeah.
I was thinking about Courtney's. I was thinking about Gale always getting decked in the
Gale
face.
Weathers.
5, she didn't get decked, and I just realized why. It's because the one time she does, because like you said, or like we said, every time she does do it, she's in reporter mode. The
Yeah.
one time she's in reporter mode in 5 is when she's alone with Dewey, and of course he's not gonna deck her, but it's not to, obviously you're gonna watch it anyways. But
Yes, I
this
will.
is on you for not watching it. So she
Hey, look,
Dewey.
we are past it being in theaters. All bets are off because I
True.
have the ability to watch it. I just haven't.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
all
So,
bets
one of
are
the
off with spoilers
characters-
on this.
One of the characters obviously gets killed. You know, the stabbings are restarting again. Dewey texts Gale. First, he calls Sydney not to show back up to Woodsboro. Then he texts Gale, and he's all like, "Don't come to Woodsboro. How are you doing? Smile. Like, hope you're well. Smile." No response. Another killing occurs. She shows up. Gale appears at the location. She sees Dewey, and she's all like, "Oh, how are you?" You know, she's trying to like care about him. And he's like, "Oh, I'm really sure that you totally came here just because you cared about me." And then like the camera pans over to her two like reporter buddies in the background, also ready to get the scoop. And yeah, I just think that if she was gonna get decked again for that movie, that would have been the moment. But it doesn't happen. She just gets stabbed a couple times. But that's a given.
So, I don't know if it shows it in 4 or 5, but wasn't it at the end of 3 Dewey proposes?
Yes. He proposes.
What happened to that relationship?
In 4,
Because obviously I didn't see 4. I haven't seen 4,
you
I
didn't
guess.
You haven't seen 4 either?
I'm working on 4. I am.
God. Oh
Yeah.
my lord. So okay, so yeah, it's still going on in 4. It's a little rocky, but they're still very much together. Gale she's taken herself out of the book writing scene like she said she would, so she would stop writing about their lives and whatnot. And she's
Yes.
like kind of trying to figure out what she's meant to do. And then the killings pick up again, and she wants to get back on into the action. So their relationship's kind of put out a strain, because Dewey is in the police, he's head of the police, he needs to follow, you know, the code and the laws and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, he wants to do things properly. And he's got this partner who totally has a crush on him, who, like, wants Gale
The blonde
nowhere
chick.
near...
The
yeah,
blonde
the blonde chick. He wants Gale nowhere near the scene of any of this.
Which, by the way, apparently Gale doesn't like the lemon squares. Yeah.
No, Gale no, that's true. She liked him and then she didn't like him. Yeah, that's
in
accurate.
4, she straight out insults her and says she doesn't like those lemon squares.
Yeah. And
So.
that's actually, yeah, you're correct. What was I gonna say? So yeah, Gale wants to get back in onto the action, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna go rogue. I'm gonna go do all this stuff by myself, set up some cameras, follow some high school kids,
She's gone
do it
rogue.
all on her own. She literally
She's
tells
gone
Dewey, I'm going
rogue."
rogue. And so it just puts this like big strain on their relationship because they're not working together like they used to in the old movies. They're doing everything separate, but like eventually they slowly start being forced to work together again because obviously they care about each other. They end the movie still in a relationship. And then that's it, you know, that's the end of the movie. Scream 5 does not take place until like 20-something years after 4.
Well, I mean, they didn't release it for like, what, 11 years? 11 years
Yeah.
after Scream 4 and so obviously, and I did notice this, that the characters, the actual actors themselves, they physically aged.
Yes.
And they showed it in the movies between 4 and 5. That
Yes.
is one thing that I did pick up, is that they physically aged them. to match, instead of trying, how they try to make actors and actresses look younger and all that. It's like, no, they let them grow old so that they could actually be older in
yes.
5.
Yeah.
I did know. I did see that. Notice it.
Yeah, in 5, they're like I said, like 20-something years after the time period of 4. Sydney has a new husband that we know nothing about. She's got a family. She's off in a completely different part of the country, living her best life.
She's off the reservation right now.
Exactly. She comes back in 5, survives obviously because she didn't talk. Like they tell in 6 she's lived. Whatever.
Yeah.
But for Gale and Dewey, the first time we see Dewey in 5, he's living alone. He's back to living in a trailer like he used to be. And Gale's not there. He's sitting on his couch watching her give the news report. She's back, which is like telling us that she's back to writing her book, she's back to doing her news lifestyle, and all these other things.
And that does kind of show when 6 rolls around.
Mm-hmm.
Because since I did miss 4 and 5, like I didn't realize that she actually took a break, because it was like the same person 1, 2, 3 that I saw for Gale Weathers' character, and it was the same person in 6. I was like, okay, so nothing changed. So I was really surprised when you said she took a break from all of that stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. So yeah, she ends 4 taking a break, comes back into 5. Obviously, the times change. She's back on the grind. She's not quite writing books yet because she's like when you know how I told you that Dewey texts her not to come to Woodsboro, and then she does.
Well, I do know that she stopped writing about the Woodsboro massacres. I do know that part, but I didn't know that she just took a break altogether. I just thought she stopped writing the nonfiction. Well, in the course of their timeline and all that, the nonfiction stuff that happened, because all of her stories that she wrote were the nonfiction, what accounts and all that, which made the stories of how they were.
Yeah, they have the scene that she comes back and show like her reveal that she's back in Woodsboro. That singular conversation between her and Dewey basically lays out their entire like reasoning as to why they split within like 5 minutes. He left her in the middle of the night on a random Tuesday. I don't remember if it was a Tuesday. It was a random night.
A random Tuesday. Dewey left in the night.
No, he did ask. He left in the night because she wanted to go back to her reporter style. So they moved to, I think it was LA. I don't remember. He lasted 2 months. Randomly leaves in the night to go back to Woodsboro because he feels his home is in Woodsboro. And that's it. They don't contact each other again until Scream 5. And he asked her about if she's writing or not, and she says no because she's been so busy with all of her other shows and stuff. And he says, you were always happiest when you were writing. And then that's the end of that conversation, basically. And then throughout the movie, they're slowly kind of working together again, but not really, but sort of. Like, they talk about how how she wished he had told her how he was feeling, and like they had a mutual understanding that they were in different parts of each other's lives right now. And then obviously he gets killed, and there's this huge emotional scene of her like running up, seeing his body being taken out in a body bag, and it's just tears everywhere. And then obviously that's the end of their relationship, as it was.
Well,
yeah, so they never officially got back together, and then he died. And in Scream 6, she's got to move on. What's
really kind of funny is I was watching Scream 1 like last week sometime, and in the middle of it I wanted to say it's Dewey, it's been Dewey all along, in remembrance of Scary Movie like 1 or 2. You know how they have
Yes.
the play off of Scream, and it was like they have Dewey's character all crazy.
Mhm.
Well, I'm sitting here and I just want to scream at it and just go, "It's been Dewey all along. Arrest him." Blah blah blah. It's like, and then I actually had to remember. It's like, actually, no, that's a different TV.
Actually, it's
That's a
just
different
not Dewey
franchise.
at all.
It's a different franchise. My bad. But I would have been very, like, not surprised, but surprised if in 5
Mhm.
Dewey actually would have been one of those ghost faces. I would have actually not been as surprised as I would have been surprised to see that happen.
Yeah, I get that. That would have that. I feel like there's a bunch of characters within the franchise where, like, if they were it would be understandable almost.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I sit here and I watch a movie and I go, I think this is how this is going to happen. But I can't do that when the movie straight up tells me exactly what's going to happen in the movie. Right? And here's the thing:
well,
is if
they-
you
they
haven't
tell you
seen,
what's gonna happen, but then sometimes they don't do it. You know,
but okay, in
they told us a legacy character
Tell me this.
would die in 6, and that didn't happen.
no, they didn't say they will die; they could die. There's a difference.
Debatable.
Now, it is I will have to actually see that part again,
Mhm.
but I don't want to try to get too much into 6 at the moment.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But in 1 and 2 and 3, when they talk about the slashers and then the sequel and then the trilogy, everything that they mentioned came true to a what, maybe a 75% accuracy to a 90% accuracy. I mean, they didn't 100% because it's their, but that's where the comedic value comes into play when they had the movie guy that's talking all about the movies and all that, and he's like, you know how you, oh, that poor guy, rest his soul. I would have loved to have seen it, to see him continue on and just be that character, but I was very, I'll just say, a little bit sad when Martha, she pulled out the videotape and it was it was Randy, and I was just like, oh man.
Dude,
Yeah.
I thought it was cool how he predicted, like, Dewey's response too, and was kind of like talking
Oh,
with them in it.
I laughed so hard. I don't know what it is about movies that when they do that, where they have a pre-recorded screen, but yet the responses are set.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know that somebody's going to react and somebody's going to say this, and then that person is just there. And I like, the person is there, they say the exact responses, and there's just that comedic value to it that I just love. And when Randy was talking about all like, hey, you know you're in the slasher, you know you're in the sequel, you know you're in your trilogy, blah blah blah, and hearing all of that, it's like, well, that kind of takes the guessing out of the movie, which for me, when I watch a movie, I sit here and go, where to put it best, in the movie Goosebumps, Jack Black's character that plays R.L. Stine, which, by the way, little Easter egg, R.L. Stine plays a a coaching professor or something like that at the end of the movie. I don't know if you saw that. So R.L. Stine, creator of, I digress like a mofo on this one, but R.L. Stine made a cameo in Goosebumps, the movie.
Yeah.
Like Jack Black's character plays like an English professor, I think it is. And which, if you think about it, that's what R.L. Stine would have been. But then on the other end of the spectrum, R.L. Stine came by and talked to, I think he said his name was Mr. Black or something like that, the coaching or the acting coach or something like that. It was like, if you swap them, they basically are doing their own jobs, but the actors swapped, or R.L. Stine and Jack Black's characters swapped, and it was great. The first time we actually saw that, I was on board a submarine, and we, no crap, rewound it and was like, I need to look at this, and then saw it and was like, holy crap. Now, going backward again, his character said it best. Every movie has 3 parts.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning, the middle, and the twist. I sit here, and every time that I see like one of those movies, I sit here and try to figure out, before that it happens, where's the twist? Where do they have epic foreshadowing? What do they play in the beginning of the movie that is going to come back and be like, oh, I didn't see that? And I'm just sitting here going, yeah, I saw it. Yeah, they did this epic foreshadow right here. Scream does that the entire freaking time. Mm-hmm. So how can you predict the twist or try to think of the twist when the movie tells you exactly what's going to happen, right? The first movie tells you in order how people are going to die. Boom, this happens. Boom, that happens. The virgin lives, blah, blah, blah. And then sure enough, in the end, what happens? The main character lives, the virgin lives, blah, blah, blah. So it's like to have that in a horror movie. I don't know what it was, but they added it perfect. And the director, Wes Craven, I don't know if anybody else caught this. He cameoed in Screams 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Technically, she was only a virgin till like the third, till the like 3/4 of the movie.
Are you talking about Neve Campbell's character?
Talking about Scream.
Sid?
The first one. Yeah, Sid.
Yeah, Sid. Yeah, no, I'm not talking about her being the virgin.
What are you talking about? Oh, are you talking about Randy still?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Randy.
I don't know why my brain like died for a moment.
No, because
okay.
Sid's the main. Sid's the main cast. Sid's the main cast in a slasher trilogy. The main cast never dies, right?
True.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but they actually laid this out in the movie. The main cast doesn't die, but yet everything is bigger and more gory, right? And they do that, and they say it every single time. This is bigger. This is better. There's going to be more gruesome deaths. There's going to be this. There's going to be that. And the main cast is not going to die, but you may lose 1 or 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about Randy. Poor guy.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought you had switched, but that makes sense.
Yeah. So, oh man, that's amazing. All right, so what are your thoughts on the first trilogy?
I loved 1. Though what not confused me, but like was always such an odd detail about it was when Tatum died. I feel like she saw her body and didn't react like that was her best friend, you know? And then I don't think even Dewey had a proper reaction to Tatum ever being dead. And they really never touched on it in 2, and they don't really touch on it in 3. In 5, they show her ashes. But that was like almost secondary main character, best friend, best brother to next or sister to next main character, and she has the most iconic death scene there is, besides the opening of the movie.
Like, you're talking about Drew Barrymore's character getting strung up and gutted?
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always just thought it was odd that she like rarely ever, like, I just felt like her death deserved more recognition within the movie's characters.
So I'm gonna be honest, I liked 1.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why I enjoyed 2 and 3 were because of the comedic value and the continuation jokes. And by continuation jokes, I'm talking about Courtney Cox's character, Gale Weathers, getting cold clocked every single movie. Right? When you look and you watch a movie and you're sitting there going, I know that there's going to be a carryover joke, but where is it?
Mm-hmm.
And you sit there and you wait for it and you're paying attention and you're watching it. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Gale Weathers comes up and starts badgering somebody and then gets cold clocked.
Yeah.
So it's great.
I don't know, I definitely think I liked Scream 2 over Scream 3. Mainly because I think they made it super, super obvious that Mickey was going to be a killer. That he was barely around with the group, and they always like dropped ideas that it was probably going to be him. What I thought was cool was the introduction of Mrs. Loomis. That was something I just didn't expect when I first watched it.
I was not expecting the mother.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
But I actually, I'm gonna, out of 2 and 3, the one thing that I did like, outside of, the connecting jokes and the comedic value, is it's actually how they brought in Liv Schreiber. Instead of, he was Cotton Weary, the guy that was supposedly killed Sydney's mom.
Mm-hmm.
So yes. I loved how they actually brought him back. They could have actually just killed his character off after 1. He died in prison. Done. But he wouldn't have had the big impact that he did in 2, 3, and I think 4 did he die?
He dies.
He died in 3, didn't he?
Yeah, he dies in 3. It was the first time they killed off a main character in the opening act.
Yeah, but he wasn't. Would you consider him a main character, though?
They ended the movie making him a main character. Like, they had specifically done it to boost him as a main character for the next movie, and then they killed him off instantly.
Killed him off in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or 10, whichever one. Yeah, I was not too.
I definitely would have. I would have labeled. I wouldn't have labeled him as a main character for like 2. I wouldn't have labeled him as a main character in the beginning half of 3, but second half of 3, he definitely had become one. Just because of how much they kept bringing him back.
3 was when he died. You mean 2?
Shit. Sorry, yeah, 2. I meant 2. Yeah. Because they kept bringing him back, and then obviously chose to save her and got his recognition and whatnot.
All right.
I just feel like without him there. Okay.
I'm gonna try to do something. No, keep talking.
Yeah, I just feel like without him there, without him there, he the movie would have been different, completely different. She wouldn't have been so paranoid over she would have been paranoid over something else, but it would have gone differently. If that makes sense.
Can you explain that one a little bit?
Because, she's already stressed because Mickey and Mrs. Loomis are showing up in like her college and whatnot, and just making her stressed out without even physically attacking her yet. But then there's Cotton, who's making her stressed out because he keeps showing up. His presence is just an extra little thing that she has to deal with, thanks to Gale. And I think if she didn't have to deal with him, like the library scene wouldn't have happened the way it did if he wasn't there. What do you remember what I'm talking about?
Which movie?
2. She's in the
I'm trying to
library,
remember.
she's using the computer, and she starts getting like messages on the computer from the killer. And Cotton comes out of nowhere, takes her off to the side and starts not threatening her, because he's not actually threatening her, but the movie's trying to make it seem like he is. He's just like planting, he's being used to plant the seeds of doubt in her head if he's one of the killers or not. Which it's fairly clear that he's not one, but that goes on to add like more stress to her. She calls the police on him.
I'm gonna be honest. I think that they played his character quite well into the fact that it's like, even though he was cleared and all of that, that they actually still was like, yeah, he's not a killer, but they put in the seed, like you said, the seeds of doubt. It's like, but is he?
Yeah.
Is he is he the killer? Wait, is he the killer? Is he not the killer? I don't know anymore. What is going on? So
they easily could have used a whole new character to do something like that, but without his backstory already in place from 1, and without just his character, like who he is in general, I think if they did go that route with a different character, it just would have been a different movie.
What I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to get the actual trailer for Scream 6 to show up on my stream, but stupid little things are not working out the way that I want it to. So I'm gonna do something different. We're gonna do this. It's just gonna pop up, and hopefully I can mute it in time. Okay.
Please help me.
Playing. There it is. There we go. So we're gonna scrunch it down a bit, place it right here, and then put this right here. So we're gonna have it play right behind me. All right.
Hell yeah.
So the reason why I'm having the trailer play is because we're gonna start to transition into the Scream 6. Now, when I watched it, there were as a very intelligent person as I am, I picked up on quite a few things. Okay. Do you remember? Okay, I need to formally announce this. There will be spoilers for Scream 6. If you don't want spoilers, just like mute or something, and I'll wave my PNG tuber's hands when I'm done. All right. I'll give you a 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so there's a few things that I picked up on this movie, right? So one of them was, do you remember the convenience store scene?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so do you remember the part where the convenience store clerk pulled out the shotgun?
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you know that it is almost against the law in almost every single state that when you shoot somebody with a gun, that you will go to jail if you shoot them in the back, even if you're defending yourself? So
I did not know that.
if you also notice that here's the thing, there's caveats to it, but you have to prove it, right?
Yeah.
So if you actually look at the convenience store scene and like really see it, how the convenience store clerk yelled out to get Ghostface's attention and then tried to shoot him in the front.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
That right there is the big, actually it's in my stream right now, the convenience store scene. So I'm gonna do this real quick. If you see like the convenience store scene, he shot at his face because if you can't prove the fact that he was like trying to assault or try to kill somebody and you're trying to protect somebody while his back was turned to you, you'll go to jail because there has to be a clear and present threat in order for, like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, somebody actually did their research to actually get them to obey the law in self-defense of this. So that was the first thing that I picked up when I watched it. I figure you are driving me crazy with the question marks, man. Seriously, you were driving me crazy. But like as soon as I saw that, I was like, they actually consulted somebody about that, or somebody that was working on set knew that law, or knew that if they did this, that they would actually have to do this to the character. All right. And I was very fascinated at some of that level of detail, because some movies actually don't care. They just go, you know, I'm just going to shoot him in the back, blah, blah, blah. Right? Later on, and you see this scene right here, when she was shooting through the door, that was with zero regard to the safety of other people. You shoot through a wall without the actual target right there. Yeah, there's
Gail's been through this. Is time number 6 she's going through this. She doesn't give a shit anymore. Her boyfriend's dead. When her boyfriend got snagged when she was like on the phone, I almost lost it. That was the funniest grab I've ever seen.
I saw
so
it.
Innocent, minding his own business.
Well, okay, so that one actually brought up a good point. I was like, when he got snagged while she was talking on the phone, that right there, if you weren't paying attention, showed the fact that there had to have been 2 or more ghost faces. All right, because you can't do the struggle that happened with the boyfriend and maintain a calm demeanor on the phone like he was. As soon as I saw that part, I was like, yep, there's a second killer, because they even said, like, in all of the previous movies, basically, that there were 2 killers every single time. But this one movie, which was like Scream 4, I think.
Roman. Scream 3.
Scream
was alone.
Was it 3? Oh, I thought it was 4.
It was the one that killed Cotton, because Roman was gonna blame it on Cotton and try and get away with it.
Why did I miss that? How did I miss that? But in that movie, there was only the one ghost face, right? Which made an odd number, which means at the end of 6, a little prelude, they were going to even the numbers back out, which means
Whoa.
1
Technically.
or 3.
Yeah. Which they did end up having 3. And
They
even
did.
even if you didn't notice based off the phone call, because I honestly wasn't. I was more focused on him being snagged than I was the phone call and like the possibilities of how that could happen. But even if you didn't notice that, you kind of start to pick up on the potential of 1, or the potential of 2, or even 3 if you're really paying attention, because
The
each time they
3,
switch killers, they change the mask.
they changed heights as well.
I mean, yeah, if you're paying attention to heights, but the mask is more
Yeah.
obvious that it changes.
Yeah, true. But they did it in a manner that they were counting down the movies too.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, when they explained it in the movie, they did count down all the movies, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then the last fight scene was the one.
They
Right.
so they counted it down, leaving the masks. Yes, but the first Ghostface, that Ghostface right there behind you, that's the
Yeah.
first mask that we see.
That
That's
was?
1's mask. That's Billy's mask. So,
Okay.
like what you're saying makes sense for leaving the masks, but for the reveals of the killers, they started off with killer number 1 showing up, and they said that using the mask. They
Mhm.
changed the mask in the train scene when the sister's doing the killings, and then they bring in the 3rd mask when they show the brother doing the killings.
Okay.
They do the
I do-
unveils in order, but the masks themselves, when they're doing the killings, don't show up in order.
Yeah. I did find the fact that they actually said they identified 2 of the killers right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat. They were like, it could be you, the loner, which he technically was. And then it could be you as well, the daughter of a cop. Why?
You could have rigged the lottery or whatever.
Yeah, you could have rigged it. You could have done that. It was like they explained the entirety of the plot right there under everybody's noses, and then you just didn't notice until it was like,
They did.
okay, I'm sitting here and I'm going, no, it can't be that, because why would they tell you the exact thing that they're gonna do? So I'm sitting here disregarding the sister and the loner. And
Yeah.
going, okay, they're not going to be it, because why would the movie actually tell them? It's like, tell us that yes, he is the killer, right?
Dude.
So,
the freaking-
which by the way, those that are in here, this is still spoiler alerts. If you couldn't tell,
Why don't you just change your title to add spoiler alerts for 6?
because I don't care.
Okay, fair enough. Dude, I swear, I loved 6 for the ideas, the possibilities of how many people they could have had be the killer. Like, they debated us like 3 different times at minimum of who it could have been. I thought the starting, like the opening scene when they have the first killing, I loved that scene so much. And
When I saw that, I actually cocked my head. I was like, why would they show the killer right off the bat? And sure enough, they freaking killed him. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, that's why. Got it.
At first I was conflicted because why would they show the killer right off the bat? But then I was like, okay, so maybe they're kind of doing this in reverse, or maybe killer number 2 is somebody. What?
Sorry, keep going.
Or killer number 2 is somebody who's like really cool that they're bringing back from an old movie. Because if you were paying attention to before the release of the movie, everybody was always like, oh, Stu's gonna come back, Stu's not dead, blah 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 blah. I never expected him to be in this movie.
This
But
brings me into a rule that I have made about movies. If you physically don't see them die in a scene, they don't die.
Yeah,
And even then, it's 50-50.
exactly.
Think of, like, to digress a little bit, to think about Starship Troopers, right? Rico got killed, but they brought him back in the same movie. Anyways, going back, yeah.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, because his character, I'm pretty sure they were supposed to bring him back in 3, and then they changed it because of the current events of the time. But yeah, so I loved that they unveiled the first killer, and I thought it was gonna be somebody really cool on the phone, and it was either gonna be that or he was gonna get killed, which obviously he got killed.
Yeah, and here's the thing is, I didn't think of it until now, is that they preluded that with revealing who the killers were, right? In the opening scene, they just showed who that killer was.
Yeah.
And in the following, 2 scenes after that, they tell you who the killers were.
Yeah, that's true.
Which, I didn't make those connections until just a moment, like a few minutes ago. I was like, well, hold up. They actually, it's just like, they foreshadowed telling you who the killers were when they actually showed the opening scene, murder scene.
Yeah.
I just made that connection. And yeah. So a little fun information is that this Scream box office weekend topped all the others.
Yep.
All the other Scream movies when they were released.
Yeah, I topped it, and it's technically still going. I keep seeing updates on Twitter of how it's growing.
It is.
Dude,
Now, I give this movie like a 7 out of 10. Me and a buddy back in high school, we actually had a ranking system. And the ranking system went along the lines of, I will never watch this movie again, to basically what I did with Avatar. I will watch it multiple times in theaters, IMAX, and 3D in theaters, and buy the Blu-ray, and watch the extended cut. Avatar was the only one that, like, topped 10 out of 10. Now, going into Scream 6. Scream 6, for me, was, I will watch it in theaters, and I definitely want to buy the DVD just so that I could watch potentially some of the deleted scenes / extra content. Right?
I think you'd appreciate 6 more if you saw 5, because there's a bunch of little details that really add to it if you've seen 5.
I'm that's why I tried to burn through all the movies, but I couldn't because I was busy. I was really busy over the last 4 days.
Yeah.
Trying to do things. Like, I even had the movies up while playing the game Satisfactory, but I just couldn't make it through all the movies in time.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit.
Would be appreciated more.
I definitely wanted to watch the movie before today so that we could talk about it today. And I waited until late Saturday to watch it. So I was able to get through everything, blah, 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 and go from there. But yeah, I definitely wanted to get through all the movies before watching 6. But the next time I watch 6, I will have made it through all 5 movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got an entire list of things I just want to talk about for 6, right? The second part was, you know how we were talking about Gale Weathers getting cold clocked?
Yeah.
This, okay, so IMDb doesn't put Scream 6 as a comedy, right? Scream 6 on IMDb is a horror mystery thriller. All right. I laughed out loud, quite loud, when what was her name? What was her character's name? Sam Carpenter tried to swing and hit Gale Weathers, and Gale ducks and bobs out of the way and was like, this isn't my first rodeo. And then Tara Carpenter, played by Jenna Ortega, just cold clocks her from the fucking side, and was just like, kapow. It just, that right there, as soon as I saw that, because I had already watched 1, 2, and 3 and see her get decked in 1, 2, and 3, I laughed like one of those gut chuckling laughs when that happened. I was in the middle of a theater and I laughed really loud out loud. And that rarely happens. Like, that rarely happens where I will actually make a very loud out loud laugh. And I just lost it. Oh man.
Yeah, everybody, there were 2 very noticeable reactions from the theater when I saw it, and it was when she got decked, when Mindy's girlfriend got killed, and when what's his name? Mindy's brother. What's his name?
Oh, Chad?
Chad. When Chad lived, everybody cheered for him. And yeah, those were
which
some, yeah.
brings me into my rule of horror movies. If you don't see them get killed, they don't die. Okay? Mindy and Chad were presumed to be dead because you see them get stabbed. You do. You see Mindy got stabbed on the train. Chad got stabbed by 2 of them. All right? And you sit there and be like, they're dead. No. Well, Chad, he's on like critical life support. And Mindy just arrives like she just got done running in a track, which I don't think that's the right reaction.
Well, before Mindy arrived, they already told us she was alive. They told us that she was in the hospital and doing, like, fine.
I missed that as well.
The main, all the killers were like, after we go kill you guys, we have to go and kill them.
Well, that doesn't make sense. Why as a killer? Which leads me into the biggest thing about a horror movie. Why would you delay just knifing people then?
I think they thought that she was dead. All the killers, every time they've attempted to kill somebody, they've always, like, they did this with Cindy. The only person they actually successfully killed, I think, ever on screen, who was a main character, was Dewey, and without having to go and kill him again. But they stab him. They think they're giving them a fatal wound, which technically they have, but the police come just in time to, save them. Which goes
into, if you don't see them die, they don't die.
Well, they weren't. When they cut off. I don't know how to. Never mind.
Well, okay, so to think about it, the psych, right? The psychiatrist who got stabbed in the eyeball. I think he got stabbed in the eyeball or in the nose. Yeah, there is no coming back from that one, no matter how much. That one is a death on contact. You see him lifeless. He is gone, right? But when you stab somebody in the gut, they're like, unless you aim it right, 90% of that is fatal if not treated, if not caught.
Yeah.
All right? But if you stab them in the gut and don't finish the job, they're coming back.
So
right?
he stabbed her in the gut and twisted the knife, but then
That
the
doesn't change it.
Oh, okay, I'm not done. Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
He couldn't. It's not like he could continue because they end it with them reaching a train stop. So he gets off and goes.
Yeah.
Because he's now got to go meet up with the rest of the group. Which leads them to her being able to go get treated. But yeah, they verbally state out loud that she's in the hospital, and we didn't expect her to be able to come on running back at the end, but we knew she was alive.
Raises a question: how do they know she's in the hospital?
The dad's a police officer.
So
he probably was alerted about it.
But he was the one technically on the phone.
Yes, but since he's on the case, he was alerted about every detail.
I don't think that, yeah. So we kind of already talked about the movie rules.
Mm-hmm.
And in 6, I loved how they were like, we are in a franchise. And they talk about, this is where I go, well, the rules were like 70% accurate. This was where they were like, this is where we're in a franchise where main cast can be killed, blah, blah, blah. And they prelude into it of getting 2 of the 4 killed, which, by the way, I say all 4. Yeah, all 4 survived.
All 4 survived, yep.
Yeah, all 4 survived. Now, the 4 from 5 that went into 6 all did survive, right? But you presume that going into the final sequence of them getting locked into the theater, that the brother and the sister were killed. All right? That's how you think that going into that. When they get locked into it, you think that they're killed. Because that's how I thought. It was like, oh, yeah, they died. Even though I didn't follow my own movie rules saying, unless you see them killed on screen, they're not dead, right? It's presumed that they're dead, right? But that's where the movie, like the franchise movie rules, where they brought it in that everybody is clear except for the main cast. It's like, actually, no, the main cast, even though they could be traumatized, can come back and actually become a big issue, causing being one of the killers, which actually happens in some franchise movies. It has happened. So to hear that, to see this actually happen the way that they were talking, and then go down because they were like, yeah, some of the main cast is gonna die because it's a franchise. I was like, oh man, they're gonna kill off main characters, and no main character died.
I think with Mindy's kill, or not kill, attempted kill, they were trying to mimic Sydney's attempted kill, where the killers think they've done it, and then they realize, oh, she's just in the hospital, so we're gonna have to go take care of her again. But obviously they don't get the chance to because they die first. But
here's a fun fact: the voice on the phone is the same voice actor that did the voice on all the Scream movies. His name is Roger Jackson, and he actually played the voice in Scream 1 through 6 on the phone.
I believe it. The voice never sounded like it changed, so...
There's subtle changes between 1 through 6 because of obvious advances in technology and the way sound is recorded, but that character is the one that actually played the same voice on the phone. So every time that the phone was picked up and you hear that, what's your favorite scary, that was all Roger Jackson. He played the same voice every single time.
Yeah.
So
I liked that we had 2 Ghostface on screen at the same time. In costume. That knife scene where they cleaned it together. Oh, that's gonna live rent free in my head for so long.
In sync cleaned. I was like, how many times?
That's another
How many
one that
times
had the theater going
did they
crazy.
have to do that to get that sequence completely done? Because there was, when I watched it, I didn't notice any like when you can tell two people doing the same action, they're off just by a little bit, right? But this sequence between the two ghosties, I'm sitting here and I'm just like, what the heck did I just see? I was just like, oh my god, I just saw two ghost faces just clean their knife in complete sequence.
And then it's when they start, that immediately gets followed by us thinking they're about to go kill Chad, which, that whole scene is fucking crazy.
Dude,
I love it so much.
out of all the movies that I've seen, I have never seen a dual sequence happen like the two ghost faces cleaning the knife at the same time. I have never seen that, because that was just complete chaos that went through my mind. I'm sitting here as like, how many times did they have to do that it was like a complete mirror.
And what's crazier
if it was actually two, let me finish this. If it was two different actors and not a copy paste from one actor to one side of the screen to the other, that was in unison of start to finish to exact movements. And you sit here, that sequence was just complete chaos of how close they were together on the like how they mimicked each other. That's something that you don't have normal in the normal world. But when I saw that, I was really surprised, because there was no lag between one or the other. It just happened, and I was like, what oh, I can't believe that just happened. Yeah, I'm moving my character around. I don't know if you saw that. I
literally can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude. Sorry.
What else I loved about that scene was it brings it back to the whole mask thing, where there's already two killers at this point. Obviously, they're throwing it in your face now, confirmed two killers. What gets you, if you're really, really, really paying attention to the detail, that there's potentially a third killer, which we have not seen before, is the fact neither of them are wearing Billy's mask. And then that's when the dad comes out and pulls it out of his back pocket. And you're just sitting there like, what the fuck's going on? And if you're not somebody who thinks the way you do when they watch movies, where like you're just letting it happen and seeing who the third reveal is, the reveal of it being the sister was insane. Because you're sitting there thinking, okay, she got killed. We
supposedly,
saw her die on
allegedly
okay,
got killed.
Okay, so you're saying the whole die on screen thing.
Yes.
It was very convincing that she died on screen.
What did you? Okay, I want to.
Characters who are claiming
hold
she's
up.
dead in their
Hold
arms.
Hold up. I want to go back. To that. What part of that did you actually think she was dead? The only part that you actually see.
Okay, she's dead, and drops her on the ground.
All there really was the picture, and yeah, how hard is it to be a lifeless corpse?
I don't think she was trained to be a lifeless corpse.
When you're gonna go on a mass murdering rampage of all your friends, yeah, be a lifeless corpse, because that's how it's gonna sell.
Maybe. I guess. I don't know. It was just
like the dad said. All it took was him to be on scene. What?
We have two different movie brains. Like, you're still in the mindset of, I already know this because I'm gonna sit here and watch this with a goal and a mission. I watched it not wanting anything to do with that mission. I fully accepted what was in front of me for the purpose of being excited to see who that third and final person was. I had a feeling it was gonna be her. at
Okay.
the end when they were like confused. But
Okay.
it was also so shocking for a normal viewer because we think we see her dead. And it was they did a very good job at convincing the viewership of
They
the
sold it.
majority audience that she was dead.
They sold it. But if you think about it, who are they trying to sell? And you only see what the camera person wants you to see, right? Now, I have the frame of mindset where I enjoy a cinematic movie, but I also try to figure out who does what. Because I want to know if the twist at the end is going to be different than what I think it's going to be. Okay? So here I am, and I'm watching it. I was like, okay, technically, you didn't see her die. And I was like, yep, you didn't see her die, but you allegedly saw her die because you see her lifeless corpse drop. Right? Now, I'm not gonna go against what we, you know, how you go and how everybody sees the movie. I'm sitting there going, it's like, yeah, that's kind of sus. Because how many other attacks were actually brutal attacks, and yet her attack wasn't brutal?
Her attack was brutal.
Which part? You see a picture of her supposedly
No,
struggling. You see the struggle, and then
It's
you
not a
see her
picture.
dropped.
What do you mean by picture?
The mass picture on the cell phones.
Huh?
Okay, let me
Were we
play the scene
not
out.
seeing it through the window?
No, we weren't. You didn't see any knifings happen in the window.
Okay. I don't know. I just
You
thought
see-
because-
okay, so-
because of the boyfriend as well being
I'm
brutally
gonna-
murdered.
I'm gonna break the scene up. Okay, so you see Ghostface approach Quinn. Quinn being the redheaded chick. Okay,
Yes.
you see her on her bed doing whatever she's doing, you know, cute girl crap, and then you see Ghostface approach from behind.
Mhm.
Okay, now, do you see any actual knifings happen on scene?
Not that I remember, but we
It
also
keeps
didn't
going
see the
back.
knifings of the boyfriends happen either.
It keeps going back to the cute guy, quote unquote cute guy, because he's keeps getting called the cute guy, across the hall, who keeps trying to signal the other people. All right?
Yeah.
And he keeps trying to wave at him. And then you see Ghostface walk away a little bit. At no point did he actually do anything during that. And then the next scene, you see everybody's phone get flashed with the same message of a struggle and the chick and Quinn, between Ghostface and Quinn, in the room next to them. And
Well,
then
he's also
after that,
walking away.
no. Well, he walked away. But the
Yeah.
next thing that you see is the picture of them struggling.
Yeah, but it's more than just the picture. So physically we see the picture, yes, but the
Yes.
idea is more than just the picture.
But you have the idea that it's happening. Yes, because you don't know that it's actually not happening because they don't show the frame of reference of the guy across the alley at that point, but yet it's down the hall. That guy, you don't see his frame of reference of, is she actually getting stabbed? She's not getting stabbed. Right?
So from my
He's-
perspective, because
Yeah.
I've seen 5 as well, you can go into that scene thinking that way. But you also can't fully go into that scene thinking that way. Specifically because of Mindy. Mindy does a phenomenal job in both movies. Since she's Randy's niece, she takes up the role of Randy. She does a phenomenal job in both movies laying out the ground.
The killer
of
movie
what's
plot
going to
line.
happen,
Yeah.
who's going to die, etc., etc. So to pause there for a moment, Yes, we don't see Quinn being like, we don't watch her being killed with our own eyes, but they prelude that with her boyfriend being killed without us watching it with our own eyes. We have to see the aftermath back to back, quote unquote aftermath with Quinn, but the aftermath back to back with both of those supposed murders. So we kind of have to think that she's been killed because the boyfriend's been killed, and we're not supposed to expect her to be a killer quite yet, minus what Mindy has said. Mindy also lays out the grounds that it's always the slutty roommate that's gonna die.
Yeah,
it's
which
very
was
specific, like who's going to die. And so when Quinn gets killed, you're thinking, oh man, you really liked her. But because they preluded her death with her boyfriend's off-screen death, you just sit there accepting, okay, she probably did die, probably is what it is, and then you move on from there.
Yeah.
It wasn't what it was. They did a whole twister-rooney, but
okay.
like, there were so many things that made it so you weren't supposed to think that way.
So I think the biggest issue that I had then was not watching 5 to make me watch and see it the way that I did, which I'm gonna be honest, I'm hiding in a corner because of that.
I can see you.
My bad. All right, so because I didn't see 5, I saw it in a different manner than you did.
Yeah.
Okay, and my bad for that one. But hey, all right, I have the analytical side of me sitting here going, and I keep going back to this number one. I call it my number one rule. My number one rule is you physically don't see them die on screen. They didn't die. Okay.
I follow that rule a lot as well. But
that's my number one rule.
Person that genuinely caught me up. I genuinely thought she died.
Oh, here's the thing is, the one thing that led me to not believing that she actually died was the sheer fact that there was actually no brutal on-screen attack of her. Think about the movie. There was no actual on-screen brutal attack of her.
But that's when I go back and state that there was no on-screen brutal attack of her boyfriend in the bathroom. Obviously, we then later see
they showed his
decapitated body. But this isn't the first time that they've left characters that we've seen on the ground, which I'm now talking about.
No.
And walked
not
out.
On the. He wasn't on the ground. He was cut into pieces.
I'm now talking about her. This isn't the first time that we've assumed somebody's been dead and they've left them on the ground who has been dead, and they walked away and let the police deal with it. Which they followed those guidelines with her. We just didn't know that she wasn't dead.
But would you consider it would you consider it the boyfriend if, she was the quote unquote slutty roommate? Well, I mean, who actually considers the boyfriend? I'm just saying.
Why would I consider the boyfriend a killer?
Why would you consider him a boyfriend if she's quote unquote the slutty roommate that it actually calls her out? It calls her out and it was like, ah!
They brutally murdered random ass characters on screen before. They didn't do that to him specifically to throw off that's what they were doing with her as well.
Yeah.
They did that specifically, and they did that really, really well, because that tricked a crap ton of people.
So this actually leads me into another part, because we've actually been on the same scene for a bit.
Yeah, let's move on.
The ladder. The ladder that they used to go from one apartment to the other. What the fuck was that thing made out of? Titanium? No.
Dude.
Okay, so look, I know that ladder.
Yeah. Oh, there's
I know
that.
It is. It's an emergency escape ladder that is completely collapsible, that is made out of aluminum. Aluminum doesn't have that type of tensile strength to even put 50 pounds on it.
Clearly
in that manner. All right. It has the tensile strength of when it's vertical, not horizontal, to allow people to go up and down, not side to side. So the second that I saw them fling that thing across and be like, let's go, come on, come across, let's go. I'm sitting here, it's like, what the fuck is that thing made out of that is going to allow somebody that's even at the lightest weight of, say, Sam or Tara or maybe Mindy? It's like at the lightest weight.
Ironically, the lightest person was the one who gets killed off of it.
Exactly.
It was the smallest person, and she died.
But even with Ghost, but Ghosty was just flipping that ladder all over. It's like, you do that to a real fucking ladder, that thing is gonna bend and break, and it's gonna fall. All right, I'm sitting here going, what is that thing made out of? Because apparently I need that in my life to protect me from everything, because it's not gonna bend.
Well, that's not the first time a ladder scene like that has been used in movies. It's the first time they utilized it in a Scream movie, but not the first time they've utilized that idea.
Yeah, but that led me into the whole aspect of going, what the heck is that thing made out of? Because I'm sitting here going, like, that, no, a ladder cannot do that. A ladder is made for vertical tensile strength and compressive tensile strength, not bendy strength. All right,
yeah,
let me put that into perspective.
Listen,
bendy,
that was a real ladder, man. I don't know what else you want from it.
That was not a real ladder. All right. I don't know if you saw, but once they were like halfway, that thing became rigid, like it was rigor mortis rigid.
I mean,
all right.
They have to have some type of precautions when filming. So
it's called a safety harness and a green screen.
Yeah, clearly.
I've lost. Okay, that was the last thing that I actually had written down. On my list of things that I wanted to talk about was that ladder. That was the very last thing that I wanted to talk about was that ladder. That ladder doesn't become flexible and then all of a sudden when you're in the middle of it become rigid. Like it's rigor mortis rigid. And then become flexible again. That's not how that ladder works. I've seen that ladder. That is there for vertical tensile strength. That's it. But yet they're sitting here is like, yep, I can walk across from one apartment to another across you'd want to say a 10-foot gap, 15-foot gap. I was definitely losing it. Oh, man. Sitting here looking at the trailer. You know, in the trailer, this trailer that's been playing, that's looped probably about like 50 times already. So there's a scene where in the trailer, the hands are all bloody and Jenna Ortega's character is hanging over his side.
Oh yeah, when she drops.
Tara Carpenter, her character. Yeah, I knew she was gonna fall, 100%.
They show her falling in the trailer.
Exactly. That's why I knew she was gonna fall, because the trailer show. Like this actually leads me back all the way to the Avengers. The Avengers.
Okay.
Now, hear me out on this. In the trailer, Hulk catches Iron Man falling in the trailer. All the way through the movie up until when Tony Stark sends the nuke through the hole in space, I'm sitting here going, he's going to survive. Because it's very rare that a trailer is going to show a scene that's not actually in the movie. He's going to fall and the Hulk is going to catch him. I actually called that right there. And sure enough, he falls and the Hulk catches him because they played it in the trailer. I'm sitting here going, she's gonna fall because either one, she slips or gets let go, and she's gonna take care of business and just go to town on that ghostie. Because obviously they're not gonna kill Jenna Ortega. I already had it in my mind. They're not gonna kill the brother sister or the sister sister combo. But if they kill them both together, cool. But they're not gonna kill, even though they called it in the thing a franchise and no main character is safe. I was like, they're not gonna kill him. They're not.
Yeah.
Because it's very rare that you're actually gonna have the the movie where the bad person wins.
Yeah. People had a feeling she wasn't going to die simply because of her Scream 5 opening where she survived. But what I liked about the trailer was you see her falling, and that, like, there's no context to it. You don't know if she's falling because she's about to do something badass, or if she's falling because she's just about to land on the ground. So everybody was like
exactly
super freaking hyped when she has the knife and is ready to take shit down. And then that, like, before, your perspective completely changes with before you watch it versus after you watch the movie, and then you rewatch it because you're like, oh shit, that scene's totally different now.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at it. I was like, yeah.
Because in the clip they used for the drop in the trailer wasn't like a
they didn't
clean
show the
drop.
knife.
She's
They didn't show
around.
the knife.
Yeah, they didn't show.
Yeah.
They don't show the knife when she's falling in the movie either. They show her like have it beforehand, but that drop was the same one they used in the trailer without the knife.
Yeah.
But
see,
like
that's the part that I kind of caught me a little bit, was that they didn't show the knife. Yeah, but I'm sitting here going, she's gonna fall. She is.
yeah, that was never
And
hidden.
it wasn't. So I'm sitting here going, yep, she's gonna fall, and then she's gonna land on Ghosty. At least I'm gonna say the downstairs Ghosty. And I'm sitting here going, okay, now I don't know how she's gonna come out of this. And then sure enough, they show the knife, and I was like, that's exactly how what's gonna happen. She's gonna go down, she's gonna stab Ghosty on the way down, blah blah blah. Which it didn't play out the exact way that I thought it was going to, but it still played out, you know, the way that I kind of thought it was. Because they showed the knife right there and then let her fall. I was like, that's how she defends herself. Right there.
Yeah. Before they show the knife, there's like a build-up that she wants to fall to save Sam. And like she's just gonna take the knife being shoved into her back as she falls. But then then they show the knife being given to her, and it's like it's this really cool build-up to her drop scene.
Yeah. And on the more like scientific side of the house, I'm sitting here going, there's no way that she could possibly be holding on. But they did it in a dramatic way to be holding on, to know that she can't hold on.
Yes.
Because of the blood that's on her hands and arms. And I'm sitting there going, it's like, okay, I see what they did here. Hollywood effects. They held on in a manner to prolong reality. And then I'm sitting there, it's like, okay, now this character is gonna fall, which happens to be the little sister. In the movies, every single one that I've seen, the little sister doesn't die. It's always the big sister. If they do happen to die, it's always the older sibling. The ones that I see, is always the older sibling sacrificing for the little sibling. So to see the little sibling get, to fall like that, I'm sitting here going, how is she gonna survive? Because I know she's gonna live. Like, as soon as before she even fell, the trailer told me she was gonna fall. And I'm sitting here as like, how is she gonna live? Because movies always it goes in that direction. because I've seen thousands of movies. I can't be who I am without seeing the movies that I've seen, and I have seen so many. It's just crazy, right?
Mhm.
And I'm sitting here as like, just out of all the movies that I've seen, if a sibling dies, it's always the older one. Give me a movie, you probably can't think of one right now, that the younger sibling dies before the older sibling. I couldn't think of one. I still can't think of one, right? So going into that aspect, it's like, she's gonna survive. She is. Because one, even though they called it a franchise and they would be like, hey, like main characters. Hold up. You said A Quiet Place? No. A Quiet Place, the father dies.
Oh, well, no, never mind. That'd be a TV show. Just kidding.
Oh my god.
Hmm?
You are right. You are right. A Quiet Place does have the youngest sibling die.
Yeah. Sorry, please.
Sorry. Okay, I stand corrected. Like I said, I can't remember one. But think of the Quiet Place, yeah. But they had it as a plot point to kill him off, though. For a reason. Right? He technically, if you look at it, he didn't die later on in the movie. He died way at the beginning to cause a plot point which caused future events of the movie to happen the way that it did. Okay. However, I do stand corrected. A Quiet Place is one of the movies where the youngest sibling does pass away before any other character. Wow, that one actually, like, I completely forgot about A Quiet Place. John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, yeah. Wow. Thanks, Squirrel. Thank you for that one. I completely forgot about The Quiet Place. I did. Now that just kind of threw off my whole train right there. That derailed the train from point A to point B. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for doing that. Oh,
I appreciate you, Squirrel.
yeah. That was amazing, by the way. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so if I were to give a rating of Scream, I would give it a 7. Now, I have the ability to watch a lot of movies on the big screen. And I'll probably say this more times as I do this. And as I watch movies on the big screen, I sit here and it's like, is this movie worth watching on the big screen with the sound that comes out of the big screen? And for Scream, it's a borderline, but on the 55% of watching it on the big screen. Because as I was watching it, I kind of felt like I was there when I actually did watch. Just because it showed up on the stream and I watched that scene. The train. All I could think about was Dead by Daylight.
The what?
The train scene. Dead
The
by
train.
Daylight. That's all I could think about was Dead by Daylight. They showed Pinhead. They showed Freddy. They showed Mike
Oh,
Myers.
yeah.
They showed Ghostface. I'm sitting here was like, that's the cast of freaking. They need freaking Nia. They need a Dweet. They like, who else am I missing here? Because I'm sitting here is like, that's Dead by Daylight right there. Oh. Yeah. But if I were to recommend watching Scream, Scream 6, if I were to recommend it, I will say go watch Scream 6 on the big screen. All right, even though we just gave a crap ton of spoilers on how things happen.
I'm gonna go see it again with somebody else, so
Here's
I 100% recommend it.
The funny thing is that I can watch a movie on the big screen for 53 cents.
Nice.
Yeah. 53 cents. If it's in theaters, I can watch it. So I could watch 2 movies for $1 basically on the big screen. And that's how my life rolls. That's how I try to watch movies, is if it's worthy of it, watch it on the big screen. And I want to. When I first started thinking about watching Scream on Sunday, one of the movies that I did want to watch was, what is it called? 67? 65?
I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's the movie with Adam Driver and I think it's his daughter. 65. It's a movie with Adam Driver and his daughter, and they meet basically Earth like 65 million years ago.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah, that's my next one.
Cool.
I want to see that. And I also want to see just because Cocaine Bear.
Oh
right.
yeah, Cocaine Bear is hilarious.
Well, okay, so there's Cocaine Bear, and I didn't even know until I just happened to have seen it. There's a movie by The Asylum called Meth Alligator.
Yikes.
Now, okay, so if you don't know what mockbusters are, they basically are a mock of a blockbuster. Hence why they're called mockbusters. Meth Alligator is a mockbuster of Cocaine Bear. And The Asylum producers, production company, whatever you want to call it, they are very good at making some of these mockbusters all over. Like, it's just crazy, right? They make all these movies, and they're very low budget. I don't want to point out they're not grade A, they're like grade C movies, but yet these mockbusters are just amazing to watch. I've seen way too many of them. But they have the mockbuster of Meth Alligator, which is supposed to like kind of make fun of Cocaine Bear. And when I saw that, I was like, I now want to see Cocaine Bear, just because. Like they're gonna throw out like a movie like that. I need to see the blockbuster that they're throwing it against compared to the mockbuster that they're gonna play. Yeah.
For sure.
Whew. All right. Oh, so I haven't seen, and I'm gonna publicly state this, and I have no problem saying it. I've never seen Friends. I haven't.
The
So,
TV show?
yeah, the TV show.
Okay.
So when I sit here and it's like, who the F, where is Courtney Cox? Where do I know her from? And I'll be honest, that's the only place that I know Courtney Cox from, outside of Scream, is Friends.
That makes sense.
I mean, she's played in a lot of things.
Yeah, she's playing like a lot of older things. To be honest.
70 different titles. she's been an actress of. She's been in a Drunk History. Let me see what else she's been a part of. Besides all the screams, she was in 3 episodes of Scrubs. Apparently she was in The Longest Yard.
Okay.
Uncredited.
Oh,
Uncredited.
Mhm.
Which, by the way, Wes Craven, when he did all his stuff, he was uncredited. Every single... I sat here and I saw Scream 1 through 3 and part of, like, the beginning part of 4. And I was like, Wes Craven has been in 1 through 4. He basically pulled an M. Night Shyamalan and was in those movies. I had to make sure, out of all the movies that he's directed, that he wasn't actually in them. I need to know this. Did he pull an M. Night Shyamalan where he's actually part of every No, he's a side character for all the Screams. 1 through 4. I think it's the first one with Henry Winkler, the Fonz, where he was the principal.
Yeah.
Wes Craven was the janitor
Yep. Yeah, you're correct.
in the hallway.
Yeah.
In 2, I can't remember what.
He kind of had like a Stan Lee moment with that janitor fall. That was funny.
He was a doctor in number 2.
Okay.
And then in number 3, he was a character holding, I think it was a video camera on a tour, where, funny thing, you see Jay and Silent Bob. You see Jay and Silent Bob in 3.
Who?
You've never seen Jay? Seriously?
No.
Kevin Smith. He plays Silent Bob in like 3 different movies. Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, no, now that I'm looking at him, I know who you're talking about because his interaction with Gail was really funny. But
Yeah.
I did not pick up on that
What-
actually being a meaningful thing.
Speaking of 3, Carrie Fisher.
That was funny. That was really funny.
I slightly lost it when she's like, I didn't get the part because I didn't sleep with George Lucas. I was like, but you did get the part. You
that
did
was
get the part. Does that mean you
amazing.
slept with George Lucas? What?
Yeah. That was
Oh.
so freaking funny.
That was crazy. I'm sitting here, I was like, okay. Yeah, they're going into a basement. Something's gonna happen down here. No, something
Nah,
didn't just
comedy.
happen. They just comedy happened in that basement. The movie vault record basement archive, whatever you want to call it, had Carrie
That was
Fisher
So
in a
funny.
basement. Where she's like, yeah, I didn't get the part for Star Wars because I didn't
Not
sleep with
even-
George Lucas.
Dude, not even just like
What?
a normal basement, you know? This basement had security. This basement was locked up. It had a pin pad, a key card, it had double doors.
This was a basement where you're not sitting here going, it's like, yeah, I don't expect to see anybody down here. And all of a sudden I see Carrie Fisher. I'm just like, nobody puts Carrie Fisher in a basement. And then she's sitting, yeah, except Carrie Fisher bashing on herself a little bit. And I was just like, okay, now let's see where this goes. And sure enough, she's bashing Star Wars a little bit, saying, yeah, I didn't get the part because I didn't sleep with George Lucas. I freaking lost it. I was like, are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Carrie Fisher just bashed Star Wars a little bit. She was in 4 out of the 5. Oh, amazing. Wait, no.
Yo.
5. She was in 5 out of them. not 4 out of
Mhm.
5. 5 out of the 6. Because I think she died between. She actually passed away between. What was it? 7 and 8, I think, right?
I think so. But then they still used her
And
image.
they still used her image and part of the scenes that she previously recorded,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, in 7.
Yeah.
But they obviously had to, kill her off because she passed away in real life. God rest Carrie Fisher.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as I saw that, I was just losing it. I couldn't help but laugh as well when I saw Carrie Fisher in a basement.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh man. Wait, it makes me question, how many Meeks are there? So you got Mindy and Chad Meeks that played in 5 and 6, right?
Meeks?
Meeks. Meeks. Meeks.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I just not sure what that means.
Randy and Martha were both Meeks.
I don't know what that means.
Their last name, Randy Meeks.
Oh! I thought you were like... Okay, never mind. Yeah, Okay.
Their last names were Meeks.
I never pay attention to what their last names are, I'm gonna be honest. I really didn't know that. I knew
See,
that
I
they
see
were
here-
related, I just didn't pay attention. Like,
But
when
it's like-
you were saying Meeks, I thought it was like some slang term.
No. Their last names, Randy Meeks.
Yes, I see
Martha
that now.
Meeks.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm sitting here as like, are they, were they like Meeks by marriage, or were they
They're
born into it?
siblings.
No. Mindy and Chad compared to Martha and Randy. Because Mindy and Chad were Meeks Martin. Meeks-Martin. But yet Martha and
Yeah.
Randy were just Meeks. So my actual question now, because I didn't obviously pay attention and pick up on it, was, are they related? Is Randy and Mindy honestly relate? Like,
Oh,
were
you
they
mean by blood?
by blood,
or-
or were they step siblings?
Well, Randy and Mindy wouldn't be step siblings. Because they'd be step uncle, step niece.
Oh, actually, Martha
'Cause-
makes a.
Martha is considered to be Randy and Mindy's mom. I'm sorry, not Randy and Mindy. Mindy and Chad's
Mindy
mom.
and Chad's. Oh,
Yes.
I guess that's probably identified in 5 then.
Yes. Which is why they're
Okay.
always talking about their quote-unquote uncle being... They bring it up in 6 as well, how their uncle was killed. And that's supposed to be Randy.
See, I heard that part, but I didn't I didn't catch the part that they were like that part related. This goes along the line of how you mentioned that between 4 and 5 there was a 2-decade period. Yeah, I completely just right over my head on that one.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
completely
Mindy and Chad are the kids of Martha.
Okay, you know what? That probably makes a little bit more sense then.
Yeah. And that's why I was talking about how Mindy is basically has picked up Randy's character, sort of, when it comes to the mold, because she's obsessed with horror movies. She lays out the plot like he does and she's able to do that because she knows who he is and because they're literally related and such. So they're able to give her character that role because of the relationship.
Got it. Okay. I think that's probably one of those details that I probably could have picked up on 5 had I watched it.
Yeah, because they do show Martha in 5.
I kind of see that on the IMDb page of 5,
Mm-hmm.
but I did miss it a little bit. So yeah, I really need to watch it, like 4 and
Yes.
5. I do. I guess to get full benefit out of 6, you should watch 4 and 5. At least 5.
You don't necessarily need to watch 4.
Well,
But you
4
should-
brings in Hayden Hero's chick that doesn't
Who?
die. Kirby.
Oh yeah, that's true. It brings in Kirby, and
4 brings in Kirby.
it brings in
The
the police officer, the deputy lady girl.
Yeah, the deputy. The
'Cause
blonde
she
chick that
lives
brings in the
in
lemon
Cho-
squares.
Yeah, she is now the main. She's the head of the police department in 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a sheriff in 5.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Dewey steps down. She takes over.
Her
And then they
name is
both die.
Marley Shelton. That actress is Marley Shelton. Deputy Judy Hicks.
Judy Hicks. Yes.
Oh. Speaking of 4,
Mhm.
I love how they created Stab 5 and 6, or 6 and 7. 6 and 7, but they talk about
Mhm.
Stab 5 in the opening sequence.
Oh yeah, when they do the
Like
stab 5 into the
Stab
6
5 going into Stab 6, Stab 6 going
Yeah.
into Stab 7. It was like,
7.
seriously, you're gonna use the scene like that leading into the next Stab series? Okay.
I like
That-
it. I thought
that
it
was-
cool.
Yeah.
It was very
I-
meta.
That was really good too. Oh man. Oh, all right. So we've been going at this for about 2 hours now.
Mhm.
Is there before I actually say any closing remark type thing? Is there between all 6 movies? Is there any favorite movie scene that really stands out as being probably one of the best for you in all of the episodes, or all the movies? Does that make sense? In all 6 movies, what is your favorite part? Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many that are so similar because obviously they're following the pattern. One that instantly came to mind. It's not my favorite Scream movie, but in 5, when it's not very obvious that Amber's a killer, but like you start to realize that Amber's probably a killer. Her
Yeah.
reveal was done in a shocking manner almost, because she's yelling at Chad's girlfriend at the time. And throughout the entire movie, they try to they try to pin it that she's the killer or one of the killers. And she's just like getting very fed up with everybody. And in the end, she starts screaming at Amber. She's like, "I'm not the fucking killer, blah, blah, blah." And Amber's standing next to Sam, Tara, and Richie. And Amber just looks at her and she goes, "I know you're not." Pulls out a gun, shoots her in the head. Because she's like, "'Cause I am." And it's like the craziest scene in the movie. I swear to God. It's so good.
I know you're not the killer. Because I am.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, she's
did
like,
they-
she's saying "'cause I am" as she's shooting her in the head, and that's it for that character.
That puts the icing on that cake right there. Wow.
Dude, and she does it in one swift motion too. It's like it's so fast, but it's so like, oh, it's so good. It's so good.
So good. So good. I got you. All
Well,
right.
to add context to why that scene is also really good, because it leads back to Mindy and Mindy's whole knowing how the layout works. They send Amber, every movie almost has a party going on for the quote-unquote third act, and they send.
Wasn't I just want to make sure the third act for the 6 was them around the table, right?
I think so.
Just before the whole redhead gets killed, quote unquote killed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't think of any
so.
other party scene besides the Jenna Ortega getting brought
Wait, no, I think
upstairs.
Mindy died before the third act. I can't quite remember which one it was, but they did make a comment to it when they were doing it. I just don't remember when it started.
Mindy?
Not Mindy, sorry, Quinn.
Quinn. I don't remember any party happening after Quinn. Because they stuck together. They stuck together, regrouped with Hayden Panettiere, Hero's chick, and made their way to the movie theater. Right?
Okay.
Am I mixed up on this? And
No,
they turned
you're
Cute Boy
correct.
away. They turned
Yeah.
Cute Boy away, saying we can't trust you. But yet Cute Boy comes in with the freaking cavalry.
Yeah.
Okay,
that was
for
probably
those
the
out
third
there,
act, remember?
for those out there, I keep saying Cute Boy because they keep referencing him as Cute Boy from down the hall or across the hall in the movie. All right, that is pretty much his name. I actually don't know his name outside of Cute Boy.
I don't remember his name either.
I don't.
But
Danny Brackett, was that it? No.
I don't.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. But yeah, before that scene, they send Amber to the basement to go get beers. And as we know, in prior Scream movies, anyone who's usually gone to go get the drinks ends up dead.
I'll be right back.
I'll be right back. Ends up dead.
Yep.
Both the killers in 5 were put in positions where they would have been a character who would have gotten killed. Like Richie says, "I'll be right back" when going to the basement. Amber says she's gonna go get the beers and she goes alone.
I do want to point out though that Richie, did he say that in the first one?
What?
Richie
Who?
said it. Is it Richie that said it in the first one?
Richie wasn't in the first movie.
Am I mixing that up with somebody?
Richie's in Scream 5.
Randy.
He was Sam's
Sorry,
boyfriend.
it was
Yeah.
Randy. Randy said that in the first, or was it in the first one? Where he's like, "I will be right back." Oh,
No,
and then
that
walks
was
out
Stu.
to get something
that
to
was
drink.
Stu Mocker.
Was that Stu?
That was Stu. Yeah, Stu and Richie kind of have a mimic scene there almost. But yeah, Amber goes down to the basement, grabs the beers. Mindy goes down. So it's kind of like a jump scare almost, because we're still not fully solidified that Amber could be a killer, and they're trying to throw us off the scent here. Amber closes the fridge door, jump scared to Mindy being there, and she's like, "That was a test. Like, you never go down to a basement by yourself. You should have asked me to come with you."
Yeah.
And Amber goes, "Well, how do you know I'm not the killer?" And Mindy looks her dead in the eyes and goes, "Because I am." And Amber has like the shocked expression. Everybody like holds their breath for a moment type of situation, but then Mindy's all like, "Just kidding," blah blah blah. And then they go upstairs because Amber's like, "Well, how am I supposed to trust you?" Blah, blah. You know, they just like bandering. at this
How
point.
would
They go
somebody trust that?
upstairs. Yeah,
I would-
exactly.
I would not trust that at all.
Yeah, they go
If
back
that was the
upstairs.
case.
Chad's missing. Chad's been stabbed by now. Obviously still alive, but we think maybe Ghostface has killed him, but he's not dead.
Chad's
his
off doing
girlfriend-
Chad things.
Chad was off looking for his girlfriend, he gets tricked into finding Richie instead. The girlfriend comes on in. Chad's missing. All the sus build up about maybe she's a killer, blah blah blah, and then that leads up to the scene where she shoots her in the head, and then the final act starts occurring.
Completely missed a lot in 4 and 5.
And the final act
I'm
also
gonna be
takes
honest,
place.
4 and 5.
Yeah. When I tell you, I brought up Stu and Richie's scenes mimicking each other, specifically because the final act takes place in Stu Macher's house. Amber's parents bought his house. So everything mimics it because it's purposely done to mimic everything.
What?
And I'm not gonna tell you. There's like a specific scene that Mindy goes through, but I'm not.
Go ahead and say it because I am well outside the quote unquote statute of limitations
Yeah,
for
but like
spoilers.
I want you to enjoy the scene.
I already know how it ends with 6.
Okay, so but it's still
just
whatever.
explain
fine.
it for everybody
So-
that's out there watching.
Mindy is at this point mimicking Randy's character. You know how everybody left there's a party going on in the Macher's house, gets evacuated because people decide to either leave or when it comes to Scream 5, people got kicked out. So in Scream 1, Randy's on the couch eating popcorn, watching the movie, being like, turn around, blah blah blah, you know? You remember that scene? He's yelling at the character. He's chilling on the couch, whatever. Anyways, Mindy's on the couch after the party is over. She's drunk, she's eating her popcorn, she's watching Stab. That happens to be on the TV. And the character in Stab is yelling at the character. He's watching on TV to yell at him to turn around because the killer's
Turn
right
around!
behind him.
Turn around! Just
Mindy.
turn around! It's right behind you! Turn
Exactly.
around! Yeah.
Mindy's on the couch now instead of Randy, obviously because, Randy's dead. Mindy's on the couch yelling at the character on the TV to turn around, doing the exact same thing, except this time because she knows how the plot lays out. She has a pause and recognizes herself to turn around, where she then is face to face with Ghostface, and then the whole scene plays out, and it's cool. There's so many parallels, and it's crazy. Mm-hmm.
Was that 4 or 5?
The one I was just talking about, that was 5.
Yeah. Okay.
5. Yeah,
Gotcha.
Mindy's not in 4. 4 takes place about 20 years before Mindy is even born.
Why do I keep thinking that they're like back to back?
They are nowhere
What
near
the
back to back.
No. Okay.
Everybody that you, besides Gail and whatnot,
Like I even
almost
said it.
everyone you see has a child at this point.
I even said it at the beginning. It's like I knew that they were like a millennia apart. Not quite a millennia, but like I knew that they were apart because of the actors being so different. Or like the actors and the characters were aged between 4 and 5. I pointed that out like an hour and a half ago. But yet for some reason I'm sitting here just completely thinking something different. I was like, why?
Yeah. No, you need to watch 5 because so many crazy details sleep into 6. And then it explains. You'll see more if you watch 5 then rewatch 6. You'll see more character development, especially between Sam and Tara.
I think that like I'm gonna be honest, is like after doing this, I really should have watched 5, at least 5,
Yeah.
before seeing 6. Because I saw a character development between 3 and 4.
Yep.
So I was like, I probably should have watched at least 4 and 5 before going on to 6.
Yeah.
But-
if you had watched 5, you'll understand why.
Me being
she
as
seems
OCD
silly.
as I am, I was like, I can't watch movies out of order. I have to watch 5, or I have to watch 1, then 2, then 3, and then 6.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
I'm sitting here, was like, I gotta watch 1, I gotta watch 2, I gotta watch 3. Hope I can get 3, 4, and 5 in there, but 1, 2, 3, 6, 4, 5. Yeah, I know the timeline. We're good.
Yeah, the only two reasons you would need to watch 4 would be for Gale and Dewey's relationship status and for the other girl that you mentioned, her appearance.
Which one? Hayden Panettiere? Hero's chick.
Kirby.
Kirby. Yeah, that's Hero's chick. Oh yeah, I keep saying Hero's chick
I
because
don't know what you mean
she's
by that.
a TV series that lasted like 7 series. 5, 6, or 7 series. And okay, so Heroes, to digress a little bit, because we obviously haven't done that.
Right, of course not.
Digress a little bit, is that Heroes is a TV series. I would want to say one of the more original TV series about humans with mutant powers.
Okay.
So basically the premise of it is heroes, something happens, but it genetically really unlocks something for people, and certain people become like immune, teleport, fly, can see sound wave, like there's just a lot of things that can happen. One person can travel through time. What? Really? Okay, so but Hayden I have so much hard time trying to say her last name. Panettiere. Hayden Panettiere. I have so much hard time trying to say her last name, but
yeah, it's Hayden Panettiere, I think.
She is one of the main characters. So you have TV series that last a long time, right? You have a main character, and then you have a main character, like the main character that lasts the entire series, and you have a main character that lasts between half the series to the entire series, but is off and on.
Yeah.
Right? Hayden Panettiere is like, she is the opening scene to she is the closing scene of the series. So she's like Heroes. Anyways, so that's why I call her the Heroes chick, because I can't pronounce her last name. And
Okay.
yeah, it's weird, but it was one of those TV shows that me and my ex kind of was able to watch together. And we don't watch anything together at all. But we were able to watch it together. Anyways, so I try to pronounce her name, can't do it at all.
Yeah.
Right? I would have better chances at pronouncing the fucking Bananaphobia from DBD than pronouncing her actual name right. All right.
Bananaphobia.
Well, okay. For those out there that have not heard that phrase, Bananaphobia came from me, because I cannot pronounce the it actually frustrates me that I can't.
Thanatophobia.
That I can't say that.
Say Thanata.
No. No. I can't say the whole phrase together. I can say the, nat, o, bo, be, But if I put it in one fucking word, it doesn't work. Thomana. I keep trying to put a
Why you put an M where the N is?
Exactly! Why do I put an M there? There's no M! Why is there? I can't know. Okay, so just like Hayden Panettiere, Hero's chick's last name, I can't say it. All right.
It's okay.
I've tried, and one time in my life, I think one time ever, I was able to say it correctly. Anyways. All right. I'm
overall,
lost.
Watch
I
6. Just don't watch 6 without 5, because you'll end
Yes,
up like this
yes.
guy.
Yeah, exactly. If you go and watch Scream, definitely watch 5. Definitely watch 5 before you watch 6, because that right there is a holy crap moment. My bad. Oh. My bad. All right, I think I've expressed that enough, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna hide in a corner right now.
Okay.
Just look, just because I can't. Look. I can
Yeah,
barely show
because
I'm gonna-
5 was a great film.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
6
be
blows
one eye
5
right
out
there.
of the water. I would rate 6 and 8 out of 10 personally, and
So,
I
you
don't
would
know
go
if your
8 out
rating
of
will
10?
change after. Yeah,
No, I'm still gonna roll with a 7.
I feel like it would bump up to a 7.5 with you if you just saw 5.
Here's the deal: is like I don't. Okay, I'm going to watch 5, and because I can watch Scream 6 on like 50 cents,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I will,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm gonna try to watch Scream 6 again.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now I'm gonna try to watch 5 and then 6 in that order, just so that I get, the Sam continuation series and saga.
Mm-hmm.
And then see, David Arquette get brutally taken
Yeah,
out.
because not watching 5, you're missing out on the one opening
here's the-
scene where the
here's the
character
deal
doesn't die.
I didn't know that until I actually saw it. I didn't know it.
You're
But-
watching. You're missing out on Scream history with that scene alone.
Well, Normally, like, I have more time when I watch one thing compared to another. It's like, hey,
Mhm.
there's a movie coming out. When John Wick 4 comes out, here coming up,
Mhm.
I will watch in sequence 1, 2, and 3 before 5. Or before 4. Why did I say 5? 2025, John
Probably
Wick
because
5.
it's gonna be a 5th one. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Unless
let's
this
be
one
honest.
Completely flops. There's gonna be.
I highly doubt that this one's gonna completely flop, because ever since The Matrix, anything Keanu Reeves has been part of, he's definitely blown out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
All right, prove me wrong, right? Prove
I'm agreeing
me
with
wrong.
you. What do you mean?
No, I'm not talking to just you. I'm talking to everybody else. Prove me wrong. Anything that Keanu Reeves has been a part of, after. I want to say after The Matrix, because apparently he found himself at The Matrix.
Mhm.
And he really freaking found himself on John Wick. Prove me wrong that any movie he's been a part of has not been some form of blockbuster. All right. So when John Wick 4 comes out, I will definitely be watching 1, 2, and 3. Even though I have seen them multiple times. Multiple times. There's only, okay, so saying that, there's only like 2 movies that I have seen more times than John Wick.
Okay.
That is The Emperor's New Groove. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Don't. Okay, I have that thing on my iPod and I can listen to that thing.
Not the
Yes.
iPod.
I have the OG like not quite the OG iPod, but I have the original iPod
Mhm.
when they slimmed it down.
I believe it.
2, watching what did I say?
Emperor.
Anyways. So, Happy Gilmore. Sorry. Those 2 movies are the only 2 movies, Emperor's New Groove and Happy Gilmore, that I could, you know what? You want a scene by scene? You want a word by word, line by line? You know what? Listen up, because this is about to happen right here. Happy Gilmore, opening scene, boom, this. Emperor's New Groove, opening scene, boom, this. When the movies go along, I can say in the released final cut, I can say line for line and follow them word for word. Even when Adam Sandler is singing into the speaker box, yeah, I could sing along with it. And for parts of me, I'm sitting here going, I'm singing with Adam Sandler right now. And I could kiss you all over and over and again. Dun, dun, dun. Anyways. Look, okay, so those 2 movies, because I've listened to them and watched them so many times, I can listen to the movie happen and actually visualize the movie play out. I can visualize the movie 18 play out, but I can't give you quotes. Like, as the movie happens, the entire movie, I can't quote it for you. I can give you quotes for parts of the movies, because parts of the movie is great. And I'm going to sit here and give you parts of any movie, because I steal sound effects from those movies, and I consider them amazing. Right? So, say for the Emperor's New Groove, right? This one here I have as a sound effect.
What are we gonna do? We're gonna die? We're gonna die. That's it for me.
I don't think you guys heard that. Did you hear that?
No, we didn't. Oh, actually, well, I heard it. I don't know if everybody else heard it.
If it came over my microphone, everybody heard it.
Okay, then yeah.
I have it playing on the same line as my microphone, so if you heard it, then everybody heard it, type thing. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I have that one, and my favorite scene is when they get plunged over the waterfall. Just, I don't know what it is about that fall, about that scene. It's
about that fall.
Yeah, about the fall. But it's like, let me guess. We're about to go over the huge waterfall. Yep. Sharp rocks at the bottom. Yep, most likely. Bring it on. Booyah! Yeah. That's one of my, in that movie, that's one of my favorite scenes. Right? So, sorry. And you've heard me go through all these sound effects that I have, but it's like, I'm sitting here, it's like every time that I watch a movie, I sit here and it's like, you know what? That would make a grout. That would make a great sound effect for part of my stream somewhere. Kind of like this part, that like this one is from the movie The Losers. Right?
It's like giving a handgun to a 6-year-old. You don't know how it's gonna end, but you're pretty sure it's gonna make the papers.
Like, you can't tell me exactly when that's going to be played, but when I do play it and I'm right on cue with it, everybody loses their mind with it because it's amazing. Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you were there, but recently I actually had one of the sound effects that I did. I don't remember what it was. I wish I do, but I don't remember. I don't remember the scene or what I said, but I played one of the sound effects and it was cued perfectly to the conversation and a break in conversation. And I played it and just everybody lost their shit laughing. Everybody just lost it laughing. I wish like I could remember exactly what it was, but I remember, like, I love going through movies and thinking about sound effects, and this is my favorite sound effect for when I play Dead by Daylight.
Why'd you make me do that to you? I have responsibilities. Jesus Christ himself has blessed me with many gifts. One of them is knocking someone the fuck out.
Yeah. I love that one. So, oh, I think I know what you're talking about, where the stream may not have heard it because you didn't see the Reacto dude like pop his mouth open while the whole thing happened. But my soundboard.
Sure, yeah, that's totally what I was paying attention to.
Yeah, but my soundboard for
yeah.
the stream does show that it did play. So if anybody didn't hear it, just let me know, because I'll play it again in some form. I'm gonna have to look into some details to figure out why it didn't play, but
Ha
all right. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Do you have any closing remarks for the Scream, and I'm gonna call it the franchise because they called it a franchise in number 6. They called it the franchise in 6. It is a franchise. Do you have any closing remarks for the Scream franchise?
I love it. I think this movie felt fresh, even though obviously there were parallels. There were a lot of fresh elements, and yeah, I loved it. That's all I can say. I'm gonna go watch it again, and I love it. I love the movie. It was great.
Okay. For me, I firmly believe that they are able to continue the franchise if they kill off Courtney Cox successfully.
You think so?
Yes. She is the only continuing character between all the Scream movies that is still there. They talk about Sidney, but Dewey got killed off. Okay. So
Sidney showed up in 5.
yes.
The only reason Sidney
she's
was not in
talked
6 was
about.
because the actress chose not to continue.
Exactly.
They verbally
But-
ended Sidney's story.
They didn't kill her off.
Yeah.
If you think about it, in what was it, 3? She came back to Woodsboro because the killings were happening. She could have just not come back. It's like, y'all are on your own, bros. You take care of you, boo. I'm out. I'm not part of this. She could have done that. But she came back to Woodsboro because of the killing. Now, if you think about it, they didn't kill off the character. They wrote her out of the script. Kind of like how when Paul Walker passed away, They didn't kill him off. They wrote him out. Just like that. They wrote out Paul Walker's character from Fast and Furious, just like they wrote out Sydney. Yeah. No?
I'm trying to think of Scream 3.
Scream 3, she was a phone teletherapist person for a women's
Oh,
thingy.
yeah. She was,
Yeah.
she came back because
The killing
she also
started
got
happening.
called while she was there.
True. But still, she didn't have to come back, but she did. Right? So, they wrote her out of the script when she didn't want to reprise her role.
Yeah.
Which
I don't
isn't
think they have to kill Courtney.
I don't well here's the thing is in
I
order
think he has
in
nothing
order
to
to
do with it
continue,
anymore.
that's my opinion, is they do have to. Courtney's nothing
My
against Courtney.
opinion
She's an
is-
amazing actress. She's an amazing actress, but she's getting old for this slasher series, this franchise. If Scream 6 is not the end, they have to kill off Courtney Cox to continue to Scream 9 if they want to go that far.
My opinion is this could easily have been her last movie. Easily. I think-
They could still write her out too.
Hold on.
If they don't write her out.
Let me finish my
Okay,
thing.
sorry. I'll let you go.
I think with the way that they ended it here, with her being all, tell Sydney he didn't get me. A lot of people felt that this movie was her redemption arc, basically. I think this would have been a perfectly good ending for her the last time that she ever has to show up. I think the movies have evolved past the original cast, very much so, simply because of Tara and Sam. Obviously, Sam still has her ties to Billy, but I don't think she has to die. I don't think she ever has to show up again, and they could easily continue the movies without them.
Yes. So, I guess I'll bring back what I said just a little bit. They don't have to kill her off; they can write her out, kind of like the way they did with Sydney's character. Then,
Yeah.
right? The way they did with Neve Campbell, Campbell, is that she doesn't have to be killed off in the series. They just write her out, because otherwise, Courtney Cox, Gale Weathers, is going to be there for every single episode, who's going to be the connecting character that if you take it past this episode or this movie, if she shows up in 7 and doesn't get written out or passed away, she has to live through the rest of them. She does. That no movie franchise makes a character last this long without killing them off some sort or writing them out some sort. Not because
I think
a
they'll rather write her out.
Not because a character or the actress or actor, goes like, hey, I'm not going to reprise my role. Please write me out, blah, blah, blah. But because the actor actually passes away in real life, or because they go in a different direction, there's the possibilities where, they part different ways. No, I can't think of a movie franchise that lasts that long. Now, TV series, completely different, right?
Yeah.
You have to think of a TV, like one season is equivalent to that of a movie. When you're killing off a main character or writing a main character out, you have to do it between seasons. Or You have to do it in a dramatic way that it doesn't kill off the series in the middle of a season.
Yeah, I think if they do keep her in, she'll just be kept in as like background on the TV as they're watching the news channel. I don't
But
think
she'd have to
I
be
think her
there.
chapter's closed. I don't think she would have to.
She would
I
have
really
to.
don't.
But well, here's the thing: is no matter what, she'd still have to be there in each movie from here out if she's not written out or killed off in 7, if there is a 7.
I personally do not think that is true.
We will
Simply
find out.
because they have Sam tied to Billy, and that's all they would need to continue having any semblance if they want to.
But here's the deal: is that's two different tracks, right? That's two different areas of talking about how a movie is going to continue their franchise. They said it in 6 about franchises and how main cast characters are killed off.
Yeah.
When they go into 7, they will have the main characters of Sam and what's her name?
Sam, Tara, Mindy,
Sam and
Chad.
Tara. Why do I keep thinking Sarah or Tara? Sam and Tara will continue. Yes. Yes, Mindy and Chad will be there, but Courtney Cox has to be part of every single movie or written off in 7, if there is a 7. That's the only way to continue the franchise as it is, because they've already identified as Sam Carpenter as the new Courtney, or new Sydney, sorry, as the new Sydney. Right? If not, Tara is the new Sydney. And they put it as that aspect, and they follow that for one or two more movies. Here's the reason is, if you don't do it like that, you will have a loss of interest. It's already been identified. That's how people start losing interest. It's like you have the same character playing the same, or the same actress playing the same character over, and it's nothing new. That's how franchises die off. So she has to be written out or killed off.
I've already agreed with you that I would go down the written out route.
Yeah.
And that's it. I don't think she'll ever get killed off. I don't think she ever shows up again.
I think that she might show up in TV. However, I don't think she will be a main cast character again. Kind of like how Liv Schreiber wasn't main cast until the 2nd movie. In the first movie, he was... I've seen this movie a few times. The only time that I've seen him was when he was actually on the on video as being arrested type thing. Like, they didn't make him a main character until the 2nd movie. So they could do reverse of what they did with Cotton and make her more of a background character that connects all the movies together, and then start using archive footage as her to keep it connected. Or just straight write her out and be like, you're done. We no longer need you.
But that's kind of what I said, and you said no.
Wait, hold up.
I said that if she was going to stay on it, she would be on TV, like you were saying, and that would be it.
Did I?
Yeah, and you said no.
I'm sorry. Wow. My bad.
Caught in 4K live on
Yeah, you got me. You got me.
I'm like,
My
listening to
bad.
you speak, and I'm like, this sounds really familiar. Oh wait, that's because
Yeah.
I literally just said it.
My bad. If I could, I'd put my eyeballs right here, just in the tiny little box, but I can't. Man. It was an accident. Okay. Let me clarify this. In my defense, at the time that I was saying that, I was thinking that she was still a main character.
Yeah, no.
Like, you just saw the evolution of all of that happen in a matter of like 5 minutes. That I'm sitting here
Yeah,
is
I'm
like,
sitting here like, what is this guy talking about? Like, why is he going down this route right now? I'm just gonna let him go with it, but I don't understand what's happening.
I'm sitting here as like, okay, so going down the route of that I did, it was like, that's the only way that people actually get written out of scenes. Yeah. So that was my bad. Eek. My bad.
I'm sitting here like they
sorry.
have new established characters. Like she's not needed anymore.
My bad. Eek.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, the new characters though,
I like the
Yeah.
core 4. It's cute.
the core 4. Yeah. Bring on the core 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
They are amazing. Okay. Now, your thought. If there happens to be a Scream 7, which I'm very interested to see how they're going to plot that 7 into the word Scream, but if they do a Scream 7...
They might do the VM with just an extra eye
Oomph
character
on
next
it?
to it. Yeah.
Are you talking about on the left side of the M?
Yeah.
I'll tell you this: Scream 7, if there is
Or
is
I guess it's on
not.
the right side of the VM, but yeah.
Scream 7 is not in works right now. So everything that happens out like from here on is 100% our thoughts
Yep.
on how this franchise will continue if it does. Okay. What do you think is going to happen in Scream 7? I know that's a lot to lay on you. So here's what I think.
So technically they could make 8 movies.
I think that they're going to do fucking Star Wars side and go 9. If they
could do
do
9 too.
7. If they do 7, they're going to have the trilogy, they're going to have the post-trilogy, and then they're going to have another follow-on trilogy, which I think they're going to put 9. They're going to try to Fast and Furious this thing and get as much out of it as they can. However, I don't think
there's 8 stab movies in the Screamverse. So they could definitely go up
True.
to 8.
But they went up to 8 because they pulled a 22 Jump Street out of it. They did 22 Jump Street, and then they shot the commercial for 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. I'm still waiting for 23 Jump Street to come out. All right. I want my Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum to come back.
Yeah.
All right. I want that comedy duo to come back, but is it going to happen? Probably not. We'll find out. Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of, a weird digress. Did you know they're making Keanu Reeves is making a Constantine sequel?
I think so. I think I knew
Yeah.
that. It sounds very
Hold
familiar.
Yeah, because I told you like
Also,
a month
that
ago.
that photo that keeps appearing in the trailer in Gail's room. That's the same photo that was in Dewey's trailer in 5.
Really.
You missed it though, but yeah. Little details, little details.
Little details. So there was an interview, to go back to it a little bit. There was an interview with Keanu Reeves
Mhm.
that said, what movie would you want a sequel for that you never got a sequel for? And Keanu Reeves, and I think I talked to you about this one.
You did.
Keanu Reeves mentioned, but I never said it live. Keanu Reeves mentioned Constantine. What happened less than 1 year later? Keanu Reeves is making a Constantine sequel. Crazy. That was one of the first movies that I actually got to see on the big screen for free, was Constantine. It was crazy. So, anyways, going back. In my thought of Scream 7, if they were to try to continue it past 7 itself,
Mhm.
I think that they're gonna bring back a character of old.
Oh, for sure.
And because a franchise, like they said in 6, brings back a character of old that potentially becomes the killer themselves. I think that could have been a prelude to them writing the script of 7, that they're going to have a character of old come back that was a good person, obviously not Dewey, come back
Obviously, yeah.
and to become the next Ghostface.
That'd be wild. I wonder who it would be. I really wonder. Because most of the people are dead.
Exactly. Right? Most of the people that are good are dead already.
This would be the time where they bring back Stu, you know, like surprise.
Surprise! I'm not dead.
You know,
Yeah.
when I was rewatching Scream 1, it threw me off, the fight scene between Stu and Sydney, and then going into Sydney and Billy, because they completely cut out Stu's death scene where the TV falls on his head. She hits him with the back of the vase, and then it moves on.
Not gonna really mention that, but the only time I remember anybody ever dying by TV screen was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mm-hmm.
So when they showed in 6 that somebody died via TV, I'm like, I don't remember anybody actually being killed on screen with a TV. So
the very original was Stu. Stu has the TV knocked onto him. If you Google Stu's death scene, there are video footages of it happening. You can watch it. So it's out in existence, but if you were to watch, like, Google up a free movie of it, it's completely
You're
gone.
talking about
It's
Scream?
not there.
The
Yeah, I'm
original
talking about
Scream?
Scream? Yes. If
Well,
you Google
here's the
Stu's
funny
death
thing.
scene, it's there.
Stu is...
And if you Google how does Stu die, it's there. Everybody talks about it. Everybody knows about it. But you watch the movie and it's gone.
That's him.
And if you
That's that
Google
guy.
why is the scene
Okay,
cut out
so-
of the movie, nothing shows up.
For those that are wondering who Stu is the same dude that played in Hackers and Without a Paddle.
And Scooby-Doo.
And he was Shaggy in Scooby-Doo. He was Shaggy in Scooby-Doo. Yeah. So that is Stu. So I'm actually looking right now, because all I remember is him being stabbed and then like potentially crying and bleeding out.
He gets stabbed.
Oh,
He does
Never
bleed
mind.
out.
I reached the point. I reached the point where he runs across, he tackles Sid, Sid goes on
tackles
top
Sid.
of him, and they start basically beatboxing and arguing and sparring. I'm playing the movie as I say this. They tackle each other over the couch.
Over the couch.
They start struggling. Yep. They
Yep.
start struggling a little bit more. He's yelling at her. She just bites him. She grabs a vase, smacks him in the head. He's on the ground in the back. The TV falls. He screams.
He dies, or quote unquote dies.
Okay. That is okay. I don't know how I didn't see this before, but that really doesn't kill some. That is barely enough to even break the glass
So
of the TV. But yet it
see,
sparks up.
That's the thing. It sparks up. It makes it seem like that, quote unquote, he's been killed. But then,
Yeah.
in the upcoming, like, the movies continue and they mention him by name. They say that, oh, they never found the body. Nobody actually knows if he was dead. They've talked about it multiple times. Even in, like I mentioned earlier, like a couple hours ago, he was supposed to come back in Scream 3. He was supposed to orchestrate the killings from prison. Scream 3
Stu?
comes out around... Not Scream 3, Scream 2. Yeah, Stu. One of the... No, it was 3. No, just kidding, it was 2.
I would have been very interested to see how
Actually,
they
no, it
bring
was
him
3.
back.
Yeah, so he was supposed to orchestrate the killings from prison.
Okay.
It was supposed to be set, I think, in a high school or something. But then Columbine happens. They completely changed the script.
Yep, that'll do it.
He gets paid for the movie, but he's not in it. And then they
Wow.
continue on and they never bring him back. And then in Scream 6, they mentioned his character, I'm pretty sure, about how they mention him. They literally talk about how it's thought that he didn't actually die.
But he
and
had a
then
TV
when-
thrown on his face that
but
sparked.
then when you go back and rewatch the movie, that scene isn't in the movie.
What? The part where
The
they had
TV.
his TV?
Yeah.
I just watched it.
I shit you not, I googled 2 different versions of that movie. Scene's cut out. Scene is not in the movie.
What? The TV falling
The
on his
TV
face?
falling on his head. It goes from the vase.
I watched the
next
the
scene
version
of-
that came from Amazon Prime. That's the version that I watched. It
Okay,
actually shows the
interesting.
TV hit his face, sparks, and he starts doing the whole little shocky
Yeah.
thingy, like everybody does when they touch like an electric fence. They go all rigor mortis
Yeah.
and freaking start doing stuff like that. Now,
So odd. Yeah, I watched
it showed,
2 different
like,
movies and it wasn't there.
when-
And I was like, what is happening?
when I actually pulled it up to tell you the scene by scene of Stu like getting smashed by the table, I actually had the movie open.
Yeah, I
And
knew you
was
had
telling
open
you.
because I was watching the scene on YouTube while you were talking about it, so I knew you were watching it physically.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. Okay.
Yeah, but what was I gonna say? But yeah, they literally verbally and like just in general have made so many hints that he's not dead. But then at one point directors confirmed he wasn't dead, or it was questionable that if he was or not, and then another point supposedly they confirmed he was dead.
Like, are we talking about
But-
directors confirmed like Die Hard is a Christmas movie, which it is, by the way?
I don't know. I don't know.
So, okay, so for those out there wondering, there's always been this controversy of whether Die Hard, featuring... You know what? If you don't know who stars in Die Hard, You know what? you are definitely in the wrong place. All right, so it's always been a controversy of whether the original Die Hard at the Nakatomi Tower is a Christmas movie or not.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always arguments about Die Hard 1 and 2 being a Christmas movie because they always take place around Christmas time.
Yes.
So, me personally, I think it is a good movie to watch at Christmas because it happens during Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that Assault on Precinct 13 is a good New Year's movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right. They have a countdown to New Year's that if you start the movie at approximately 32 minutes and some odd seconds before the New Year's, they will count down the New Year's with you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, okay, so I think that Die Hard, 75% a Christmas movie. Die Hard 3, not so much. 4 or 5, no. You are definitely not going to get Die Hard, It's a Good Day to Die Hard. The one where him and what's his name? I can't remember. I can't remember his name. I just Googled it and I would not figure out that name. Jay Courtney is apparently his son. John McCain Jr. Apparently that's his son. Anyways, that one takes place in Chernobyl, Russia. Or Chernobyl, wherever Chernobyl is, if it's not Russia. I always thought it was.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I'm
it
just
was
trying to look up something.
Ukraine. It was in Ukraine as part of the USSR. So, which why I thought it was part of Russia. Anyways, so yeah. Anyways, I've been trying to end this for an hour now, which is why, like, a part of me was like, I don't know if I could actually fulfill a full stream's worth of podcast. And then the other side was like, you know what? The last time myself and Donnie started talking about movies, I didn't go to sleep until like 1 o'clock in the morning. So I definitely think that we could talk about movies.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, what solidifies Stu maybe being alive is literally because it's Mindy's character suggesting that he is. But anyway, sorry.
All right. So, with this being said, I mean, we've already talked about our thoughts on if there is a Scream 7. Okay.
Technically, we didn't. You mentioned what do I think could happen in Scream 7, and then immediately hopped onto a completely different topic because you got sidetracked.
But
We didn't mention anything about what we think could happen in Scream 7.
I did tell you.
Not really.
I told you. I told you that a character from the past will be brought up. And we started talking about Stu. How Stu could be brought back.
I guess.
Because I told you, it was like, they foreshadowed it in 6 with a character that was traumatized in the past coming back.
Yeah.
Okay, so the upcoming movie that I definitely want to watch is Shazam! Fury of the Gods. That comes out on Friday.
Wait, it does? Oh, jeez.
Yes, it
Okay.
does.
Okay.
So Shazam,
Shazam!
Fury of the Gods comes out this Friday in your local theaters, hopefully. And if you enjoyed the first Shazam, I am fairly confident that we might enjoy the second one, Fury of the Gods.
Shazam.
So I already know how it's going to end just based on the trailers. I don't know if you want to talk about... What's that?
I said piss off, don't tell me.
Wait, you don't want to know how the...
No, I don't want to know how the movie's gonna end.
Really? Like, I'm sitting here watching the trailer, and I'm like, you know what? I already know how that's gonna end.
Good for you. I'm glad you like ruining movies for yourself.
Look, 99.9999% of movies all turn out the same.
You're correct. And I still
Alright.
enjoy being surprised.
Now,
Even though it's not a surprise.
I enjoy the cinematic adventure that is portrayed by a movie. I do.
Mm-hmm.
When a movie comes along, I will already know with a 60% certainty how the movie is going to play out.
But I think part of that cinematic adventure is not letting yourself know.
True.
And letting yourself
But-
be immersed into it.
Here's the thing is, I'm not going to say that I haven't teared up during a sad part of a movie. I won't say that, because my ass has. I have definitely teared up during parts of a movie that were sad. Real Steel, you will catch me tear up when, at the closing scene, when they're shadow boxing in the ring. I will tear up, right, during that scene, because it just happens. All right. So, anyways, I won't tell you. I won't tell you exactly how I think Shazam will end, but the good guys win. They always win.
Yeah, of course.
Let me rephrase that. The good guy wins. That is my foreshadowing prediction for how Shazam ends. The good guy wins with a late-breaking appearance.
I'm
for the
not
rest of
even
the
going
characters.
to pretend I'm gonna try and decipher what you're saying, because I don't want to know.
Oh, I got the trailer playing right now.
Good for you. I'm so happy for you. I'm really glad that this is how you choose to live your life and that you're happy with it.
What, that I analyze trailers and go, you know what? I already know how the movie's gonna start, middle, and end, and here's the
Glad
twist.
that this is your favorite thing and this is your hobby. Congratulations. You're living your
I
best
love
life.
movies. Okay? Look,
Mhm.
okay.
I
Anyways.
do too. We just enjoy them differently.
I do try to enjoy the crap out of a cinematic adventure. I do. And I will always consider it a cinematic adventure. Because movies are always amazing. They are. So with that being said, I don't think I have anything else that I want to try to even touch upon that doesn't break into a completely different topic. Because the last time that we kept talking, it lasted 2 hours past the point where I was like, I need to end this because I need to go to bed.
Yeah, you're like,
Alright.
I need to go to bed, and then we stayed up for another 2 hours.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you say? This, I will leave this up to you. You do not have to answer it now, but I will be back next week to talk about Shazam. It's up to you if you want to be back to talk about that as well.
When does it release?
It's up to you.
This Friday?
It does release Friday.
Okay.
It's up to you.
busy
I
Friday.
do not want to pressure, like, I do not want to pressure you into watching it and being here.
Well, I know I want to watch it. I just don't know if I remember much about the first one.
Okay.
Like, I remember the first movie,
I-
but not to the extent that I could have a conversation about it.
I'm gonna
So
be
I'll have
honest,
to let
I'll
you
be
know
watching-
soon on.
I'll be watching Shazam 1 before I
Mhm.
watch Shazam 2.
Yeah, I'll probably do that.
So that's
Shazam!
that's just how Shazam. Anyways, all right, going into it.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'll have to let you know.
Okay.
Ask me again when the time gets closer.
Okay.
I'll let you know if I've
I
seen
will.
it or
I
not.
will. I'll just DM you. That's what I'll do. Alright, so-
Mhm.
I'm not gonna pressure you into it, so please don't be
Fine,
obligated to
he's
say
lying.
yes. I'll see it.
He's lying. He's never gonna hang out with me ever again if I say no.
Donnie, come on, come on, come on,
Come on.
please. I think you're
Hi.
probably gonna end up like getting DVD, and then we're gonna hold hands while Ford dies on Hook, and then he 4% in front of us. You know, it just happens like that.
We're gonna we're gonna scar Alfie again.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna make a TikTok from it. He's gonna make a TikTok from it, and we're gonna compete for views. It is what it is, right?
It is
And
what it
I'm not
is.
saying that it hasn't happened already. It just has,
No, guys,
right?
this
No.
totally is never. We've never acted
It-
like this
I'm
before,
not
guys.
I'm not saying this has been
We're
history.
so much
but
more mature than this. Like, we would never.
we would always save Ford on Hook. Always. Oh.
We
All
would
right.
never let our games go poorly because we decided to act like fools. Never, ever.
I am never
Mm-mm.
immature like that. I don't know what you're talking
You know,
about.
now that I'm thinking about it, every time we have totally never acted like that, reverse psychology, our games have always gone very well. I can't speak about anyone else's games, but our games usually let us out.
Dude. Ugh. Okay. Well, you know what? Before I get too far into this, because this has already been a 3 hour
Hell yeah.
about 3 hour podcast. All right, we need to end it. We do need to end it. All right.
Alright, guys. Listen
So-
to him.
Yeah. Look, I thoroughly enjoyed this one. And I could continue to talk about this every day, all day. But you know what? I do need to stop because I haven't even had dinner yet.
You haven't had dinner? Oh
No!
my
I
goodness.
have not had dinner yet. This guy.
This guy. Crazy. He's
Okay.
going into. You guys don't even know. I
I'm
really hopped into his
insane
call
in
and
the
he's like-
membrane.
He's like 5 minutes before, quote unquote, the totally hard deadline of start time. He's like, I'm rushing all these things. I gotta, I'm fucking stressed because I'm not gonna be able to start on time. And he fucking hasn't even had dinner.
Way to
Hasn't
throw me
even
under
had
the
dinner.
bus.
I will
Yeah.
throw you under the bus. for acting
I
like
want
a
to point out,
complete buffoon.
I got out of work 1 hour before I was to go live.
No
1
one
hour.
said you had to go live at this exact time.
I
No one
have a
said that.
personal commitment to go live at 5 p.m. every day
Yes, but
during
you
the
know
weekday.
What? You know what? I
Pacific
put times on
time.
my schedule, but if life occurs, life occurs. It's
True.
okay.
But when life occurs and I'm like, you know what? It can't happen. I send out the tweet going, hey, y'all, it's not going to happen today. Life got in the way. But you know what? I made it at
Life
home.
can get in
and
the
I was
way
like-
and you can start late. Starting late is okay. No one would have faulted you if you had started 2 minutes late
Ah,
because
right.
you were a little hungry. Nobody could even see if you're eating food. You could have literally had a whole meal.
And you know what's really funny is nobody on my stream saw me go to my fridge and get a bottle of wine, and nobody saw me go to the restroom.
Exactly.
All of which I did in the middle of this podcast. Nobody saw that. You know
In
what?
the middle of this podcast, you didn't even realize I was gone.
I bet it was during the time that I had a very long monologue,
You
wasn't
were
it?
having an insanely long monologue. I needed to pee, so I got up and left, and I came back, and you were still monologuing.
Okay, there was a period at which you were talking, and you actually asked me, and I was about to yell out, but I was like,
Yeah.
I muted my microphone so you can't hear anything. So there actually was a period where if you pay attention, you will know when I didn't respond to Donnie that I was actually in the restroom.
I
Because I
had
needed
a
to.
feeling you dipped. I remember.
That's when you were like, so we gotta continue on. And I was like, oh, thank you.
exactly.
Thank you for taking the 10-second pause and then continuing, because I was definitely in the restroom at that time.
I didn't quite know that you were gone, but I knew you weren't gonna respond to whatever it was.
I didn't-
had no
here's the
idea
thing is,
why, but...
During that time, I didn't want to interrupt you to be like, I'll be right back, I'm gonna use the restroom, because that would have thrown off your train of thought. I didn't realize that
Yeah.
you were actually gonna stop as soon as I started using the restroom. And I was like, oh, come on!
That's
No.
amazing.
Yeah, you
No,
chose
I
the
was then
perfect
as,
time.
Like, either he's not responding because he genuinely doesn't know what I'm talking about, or he thinks I'm rambling too much, or I don't know, but I'm gonna keep going.
I'll just say, it was a perfect time for you to actually continue, because I was definitely in the restroom.
No, yeah.
So, okay, all right, we gotta end it. We gotta end it. Come
Alright,
on.
guys, this was a fantastic podcast. Episode
5
1,
minutes
next
ago is
Monday,
when I
episode
said.
2.
Really? Okay, I will be here if it's not next week, the following week, for episode 2 of Movie Monday podcast. All right, I in turn want to make this a weekly thing where I sit here, I talk about movies, the movies that just came out, the movies in that series, if it was a series, movies of past, and then movies that are coming up, and I show you the trailers for them, just like I'm showing them right now. I do definitely want to play it just like this. Donnie, I appreciate you coming by. You were amazing. Mwah! Thank you again for being here. You are great. And for anybody out there, if you haven't followed Donnie, you know what? Go over there, shoot that. Let's do this correctly so that nobody has to actually leave. Boom.
Boom.
Boom. Hit that follow
Boom.
button right there. It's as easy as just clicking a button at the top of the chat. Okay. For me, however, one of two things is going to be happening. I'm going to be raiding on over to Exiled Vigor, who is doing Nitro races, stream racers, on stream, and I'm also going to be eating dinner because I need to eat dinner. I'm going to be having like sausage lasagna.
Ugh, sausage. Gross.
Actually, I've already had it before. It's very tasty and delicious. I like it.
I'm glad you like it. Good for
So, you. But I will be raiding on over there. Please, if you enjoy what he's putting out over there, hit that follow button. Consider subscribing. I'm not going to tell you to subscribe, but consider it. I will be over there hitting some of the races with him. He is a great commentating for community games like Marbles on Stream. He also just commentates these community games pretty well. I have been over there multiple times for streams with him regarding Sea of Thieves, Satisfactory. We had a very long period of Phasmophobia, so please, if you're over there and you like what he does, hit that follow button. Definitely hit that follow for Donnie. She and her Yawn Squad over there is amazing. She does random awesome hours to streams. So you know what? You will never be wrong on following Donnie and watching some content there, because she does everything from Among Us to actual live cooking streams. She cooks.
Okay, I bake. There's a difference.
Cooking and bake. You know what? Okay. You know what? She bakes on stream. She makes foods from scratch. Okay, she does it on stream. But if you haven't done it, please hit that follow button for her. She's amazing. And if I see you, if I don't see you, I will definitely be gaming with you throughout the week. I appreciate you for being here, Donnie. I'm going to raid on out to Exiled Vigor. So for those that are there, please use the command, use the emotes if you got them. We are going to raid on out. I'm going to give you this awesome, sweet little outro music that I just got, and it's amazing. I want you to listen to it because it's cool. It is. I love it. I had to actually get new music, and I really like it. So I hope you guys like it, because I'm going to. But I will see you guys all over there. And I will see you guys all. Let's see, what is today? Today's Monday. I will see you guys all tomorrow for some Fall Guys with Poliwhirl. Let me pull up the lobby real quick. Let me pull up the lobby before I raid out. I'm gonna try to do this. Where are you at? Where are you at? We got Tuesday. We are doing myself, Natural Nat, and Jumping Jess, and Poliwhirl. I will see you guys all tomorrow for some Fall Guys!